Just saying, I'm happy. I'm grateful. And I know you guys share in the same sentiment. All right. You guys can see this is the first official live stream for the channel where super chats are available. Just saying. Um, so thank you for those who, maybe get something out of the messages. You feel inclined. You love me. You just support me anyhow, right? And you know what? Irregardless of the money, I know you do. If you come here and you show up for yourself, same deal. For me doing my part, all right, and you actually understanding that and vibing with the vibes here, I freaking love that about you guys. You're amazing. I literally have the best collective, hands down. Nobody's telling me anything different. Love and light. I don't want to butcher the name, so hold on. Let me just. All right, let me see. Love and light do mini Yasara. All right, welcome you guys. Get comfy. We got 3 piles tonight to go through, and things were done a little bit differently. Okay. So hey, I don't really um claim to understand all aspects of why they were done differently, but I do understand the message and they stand. Okay, for one pal to the next. You guys, you know what? I totally let me do it now. Wait, hold on. Let me just okay, I'm feeling this. Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay. And ooh, okay, citrine it is. All right, so pile number 1, right? Is the titanium aura titanium coated quartz, if I said that correctly. Pile number 2, we got the selenite Merkaba. All right. And pile number 3, I'm told to use the citrine. This is the double terminated citrine. So that's what we got. Maybe it might have some significance. All right, from one stone, from one crystal to the next for you guys. Doesn't have to. Just saying. Um, and for pile number 1, you guys, we have a message from the individual, whether guy, girl, what have you, on the other side of the situation, the connection, the separation. All right, from one pile to the next. Um, there will be differences on whether or not some of these subparts are part and parcel of the message or not. Makes sense? Please, your intuition should not be found gagged and bound in the back of anyone's trunk or anywhere outside of yourselves. All right, it's your super bestie. It is definitely to guide you. All right, so you should be utilizing the guidance that you are already afforded to just kind of gain clarity. Love light Daisy, love light Fiona. Oh, thank you so much. I definitely miss you guys when I am not on here. I definitely, just the same though, please know this, carry you in my heart, in spirit and in truth, honestly. All right. Love and light eat me. And you know what? I wasn't even sure how the turnout would be because I got on here so much later than planned. Your cat just bit you, eat me. My goodness. Is that a sign of something? What does your intuition say about that? Hopefully you're okay though, as well as the kitty. Much love and light to you all. Um, so again, you guys, I feel like we just had some people come in, and I'm just gonna reiterate real quick. We got 3 pals tonight. Okay. Um, a horizontal puncture wound. Wow, it's interesting, Amy. Please keep it clean. Much love and light, babe. My goodness. What the heck's going on in your neck of the woods there, Amy? My goodness. Always something, I know. You guys, pile number 1. Okay, this is the titanium coated quartz uh, crystal that we have for pile number 1. You guys, pile number 2 is the selenite Merkaba. Okay, and pile number 3 is the double terminated citrine. All right. Um, in each pile, I can tell you that we do have a bit of a message from the other individual. At least that was the intention. Now, don't kind of like quote me on that because sometimes the energies flip flop, and so that can happen as well. So take what resonates in the way that it resonates for you, and if you're saying it doesn't, it's not supposed to, then no worries. Just the same, I really appreciate you guys hanging out with your girl anyhow, because it's been a while. It's been a few hours at least, and maybe a day or two depending on what time means for you guys, if it's even really a thing. Really, I digress. But so pile number one, it seems to be that we are dealing with separation. Okay, whether you resonate that to mean separation with your soulmate, your twin, the you know, however that works out for you, if that's your pile. Okay, might not be. Okay, pile number two, um, you definitely know this person. All right, and I didn't. I really kind of titled the title the way that I did because really guidance is coming through for that. It's not really like any kind of to be continued type of thing, but there's some next steps in it. So, you know, definitely still just the same pertinent info, right? And dealing with a previous lover, if you can call them that, but I digress. And then pile number three, we are dealing with someone who is single and someone who definitely does not want to miss out on the good news, okay, coming right around the corner, just saying. And I will kind of, not to be exclusive, but just to kind of go in with this hope filled energy that's definitely attached to the message. Um, you most likely are female, pile number three, collective member. Does not have to be like a hard and fast rule, just saying it came out a lot kind of in the pile. So I will go out on a limb and say for the large majority of you collective resonating with pile number three, you're going to resonate as being the feminine, the divine feminine, perhaps. And it could be simply and solely in the sentiment or context of energy. I'll give you that just the same. All right. But sometimes, you know, more so than others, depending on what cards I get, the energy off of them and or the channeling, I do have to stress sometimes over others. Not all the time, you guys, right? But the way it came out, it's giving it. It just kind of was in my face that it could be very much the case that you are a feminine. All right, so um, I'm mindful of the hour and I don't want to keep you guys, although I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. So please don't take it like, you know, I don't want you to. But just me trying to come on and levelate my collective because I do really much appreciate you hopping on. I'm going to ring the bell before we even get started with any of the piles. How about that? There could be some significance to fours you guys could be seeing, or even the angel number 44. Go figure. All right. If you don't understand the sentiment of that, or maybe even the definition, look up those angel numbers, would you? They really help round out the message, you guys. I'm so serious, right? I've even tested it out, right? Because not not too long ago, but I was watching one of the oldie but goodies on the channel, right? And I'm like, man, I don't even know off the top of my dome, so to speak, what angel number such and such, whatever it was. I can't ever recall at the moment, but I promise you, this really happened. And I was like, let me just go ahead and look it up. And it literally hit the nail on the head for whatever the heck we were talking about and whatever the heck was coming through the channeling. All right. Just so serious. Okay. So, you know, I've tested it out several times throughout my journey on this. I'm just saying, I know what I know, okay? And so, you know, you should know what works for you too, you guys. It really does help you if and when you can find some of these tools, spiritual or not, to not only keep you going, but to keep you filled with not only hope but clarity about some of your whys in it all. Even though you may not understand it all, you're not here to anyhow, not always and in all ways. So take the pressure off there. But you guys, if you've been feeling like, gosh, I could really definitely benefit from some clarity, right? You might want to use what the divine's giving you to be clear about some of this stuff. Look it up. It's just a little bit of time, right? Just as about as much time and effort as it may take many of us to even ask questions like why, right? Why me? Or what? What next? Or who? Who to choose, right? Um, So take what resonates, you guys, from those angel numbers and those synchronicities just the same, okay? Love and light, Sean. I didn't see you sneak in there, babe. Sean had a banana drink. I want one. Okay, what? Who's out there having banana mimosas and stuff? No, let me stop. Could you imagine? That might be, you know what? I would probably be the type, like, if I was, like, at some sort of, like, niche type of cafe or, you know, um, anywhere where they kind of serve cuisine. And if they actually had, like, a banana mimosa on the menu, I'd be like, what? I'd at least be looking for the picture, right? Banana mimosa. Go figure. My bad, you guys. I'm not used to the super chat, so I hit like the wrong part of the screen. And I want to be clear that I'm still on here. I'm like, I got jokes apparently. You got good news, Daisy? Can anyone? I want to make sure you guys are with me. I don't know what I just did, but I hit the wrong area of the screen somehow because it said something about super chat, and I'm like, whoa! And then the thing went. Okay, so I see. Okay, we're good with the chat box. All right, you guys, give me a green heart in the chat if you're with me. Can you hear me? I know you guys are connected, but I want to be sure before I get into any of these piles. Oh, you had a major glow up. That's awesome, Daisy. As you should and unapologetically. I hope you can. Okay, Fiona. All right. And Sean and Daisy. Thank you. All right. Okay. No worries, eat me. Just stay safe and comfortable, please. All right. So, this feels good, you guys. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Okay. So we're going to get into, let's see, do we have questions yet? If not, we can have them later. Gosh, I got to be mindful not to hit that super chat. Yikes. Um, I'm glad you enjoyed that drink, Sean. Okay. So, and also awesome painting. You guys check out the Facebook group. Sean was sharing quite recently. Um, they're phenomenal painting. I don't even want to say too much because I want y'all to just go check it out. It's pretty cool, just saying. And thank you so much for sharing. I really did kind of just sit there and smile at it for a couple minutes, not gonna lie, because I'm like, look at you just creating, and it's just giving like your own essence in the most potent and magical sense. And I definitely did very much enjoy that. And thank you for, taking the steps. It's not even like a no overnight process or the snap of your fingers, Sean, but man, hopefully it made you, really enjoy some aspects of your experience in your journey, right? High Priestess Sean, you. Okay. You're very welcome. Much love and light, you guys. So proud of all of you. And you know what? Even when I get into the cards, I can definitely see the progress. And, it's one thing if I see it, right? But what I really love most about the progress that you've all been making is that you too see it. Lovely Cassandra. Oh, thanks for popping in on your lunch break, babe. Hopefully you get some good vibes and get jazzed up a little bit, even if you just got like 2 minutes to spare. And Cassandra, you know what? We did actually ring the bell. I think the general consensus was people were gonna just kind of give it a few minutes, but if you're only on a quick break and if you do have need of a yes/no tonight, go on ahead and pop it in the chat, babe. I don't mind. All right, because we did technically ring that bell a few seconds ago. All right, so just let me know, and I'm like looking for my water. You guys, energies, right? Ugh. I feel like trying to play catch up just even on the strength of what's been going on, what's been ensuing astrologically. Okay, no worries, Cassandra. No worries. Thank you so much for popping on either way. I just was like, let me just be thoughtful about that since you were thoughtful enough to pop on your break, nonetheless, right? Um, but you guys really pay attention to what your body's saying, whether it's, kind of like murmuring it or screaming it out. Okay. And I really say that because you really would have to, many of us, you got to kind of sit there and intention it out. Like, otherwise, we're pushing through, aren't we? Otherwise, we're just maybe not even all the way tapped in order to ensure that we push through. And I get it, it's a little bit of a dance, but right now, um, on a physical note, which also kind of coincides with an emotional note, you really have to be grace filled about it. Not in the sense of like coddling yourselves into some sort of delusioned victimhood mentality, but it really so that you don't fall prey to either that kind of scenario or the other opposite end of kind of the same common denominator root scenario, which means you kind of autopilot and remain checked out in order to like stay in the survival. The current issue, or excuse me, the current astro astral oh my goodness, the current astrological situation, as well as the dispensation that we find ourselves in, as well as the impending new moon energy, which I'm told is of some significance beyond that of the general generic sense of that time of month, really is having great impact. And you know what? I feel like every moon cycle we're talking about that. However, let's be mindful, it was only a short few weeks and months ago that we were hit back to back to back with super moons, right? As well as eclipses. Okay, that energy really was kind of, even back then, the beginning of what was really about to be underway in the now. And what's really also part and parcel of what's underway astrologically, even in the now, is the solar flare issue storm that really has been a process in recent, or excuse me, in recent weeks. All right. And then there's also, gosh, I feel like we're kind of getting into a little bit of a rabbit hole, but long story short, all right, be mindful to be graceful towards yourselves, okay? Yes, you might be a little bit tired a lot more faster. This too shall pass, but you want to make sure that you're doing your part to rest as well as hydrate, as well as watch the nutrition, you guys, okay? You can't run off of carbs and I almost said a brand name in there. I don't want to say that. But you can't run off of carbs alone, right? You got to make sure you're getting your proteins. You got to make sure, and um, gosh, Jay's not with us on the live stream currently, but anyone who is experiencing I don't really want to call out just pregnancy, but maybe you do have some health related or physical related aspects that just really require rest and nutrition, okay? Be mindful to feed you, right? Bread is good, right? I get it. And bread can be in many households a staple for a whole variety of reasons. I'm not saying never eat bread. But irregardless of the type of carbohydrate source, okay, it's when you kind of dumb it down to its root, giving sugar. And that's where you gotta, so like muscles wouldn't be so easily created off of sugar. So plant proteins, or even if you do use animal sources for your proteins, comes to mind, right? And that's what I meant by just not just the carbs alone, right? So everything in balance and in moderation, yeah, but there's more to it than that. Right now, you guys, you could even in meditation get like the other day, oh, I don't want to say it because I'm being protective, but a particular word came through the channeling, and I thought, what? Like, yeah, I've heard of the word. I know it's like an ingredient, okay? But I didn't really know what it meant. Okay, I know I've seen it in ingredients listings on boxes and things, right? I'm like, I don't know, what are you saying, spirit? So I look it up, And I'm like, aha, this might be why I'm having, you know, some other experiences, or just, you know, irregardless, who cares? I'm just trying to keep it generic because it's really not about me. But it is in the sense of me sharing because I care for you guys and connecting to current energies. And guess what? We're all connected anyways. So I'm not unmindful that if I'm going through a certain thing or experience, that you too collective could be just the same in your own special ways, right? Or even in the exact same way. Go figure. Okay, stranger things have happened. Just saying. Um, so I don't want to say the name that I heard because it's really not necessarily something in that same specific vein, right? And I'm being guided to not share it, eat me, so nothing personal. But it was like an ingredient. So you could just plug any ingredient in there if you wanted to for an example. The thing is, all right, I was meditating, it was given to me. So be mindful these things can happen, and not in the sense of maybe the way that they used to, right? Maybe the way that they used to would be you would go to the doctor's office or you would visit a nutritionist, and they would say, well, in normal course, or well, for a majority of people that, you know, are of this age range, of this demographic, even, or even geographical location, you know, may have need of these things in their diet, kind of thing. Just, you know, a general generic example. Okay. um when you intention to receive you know, more clarity, even, okay, who cares what it's about? It could be about health, it could be about wealth, it could be about you know, particular individuals or groups, you know, being for you versus against you, kind of thing. When you make room to receive information, you will most assuredly receive it. Maybe not in the ways and the time frames that you desire or expect, or being stubborn about expecting. And you got to watch that, okay? Because right now you're going to receive, yes. So this is not a doom and gloom message, but I'm getting that you're going to receive, perhaps in ways that are uh differing than even before, when you could look back to other examples of, oh yeah, you know, I didn't expect it this way, but then so and so came out of left field and offered to help, you know, with this type of assistance, blah blah blah. It may not even be that same difference of a case, okay? So really detach from expectations, even with some aspects of the mundane, right? So for instance, delegating responsibilities in the household. It's like, you know, maybe you know, like if you have, let's say you've got, my goodness, I don't know how people do it, but I know that this happens and it happens a lot. So nothing personal. I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like my energy dropped a little bit just at the thought of this. But like, if you had like 5 kids, right? And it's like normally like your, you know, middle child and all of that seems to be normally and naturally the most responsible about such and such, right? You may find right now that that just isn't the case. And so, what you wouldn't want to do is get stubborn about that expectation and really just try to insist that that middle child, who just, for whatever reason, and it could be very strategic from the divine, not even from a karmic. I'm so serious, right? That that middle child just is not going to actually be that one to hit the that particular you know, head on the nail, on that particular nail. Maybe it shouldn't be the case. Maybe you know, what they are best at doing in the home, they're best at doing in the home, and they need to learn other, you know. So you gotta really chills on that, utilize your intuition, you guys, and learn to go with the flow, even regarding your own expectations, I'm hearing to say, because you just don't want to be any more should I say battle weary? You know, at this point, you don't want to be any more, what, tired? You don't want to be any more discouraged, okay, than what you may already be facing, overcoming, climbing out of, all right? Again, not a doom and gloom message, but we are here to talk about some of the harsher energies when necessary. They seem to be coming through quite highlighted at this aspect and juncture of the channeling. And so I am, you know, doing my part, what I come to do here, right? Just like you, collective, come to do your part. And this is what we're talking about, all right? Interestingly enough, it doesn't even seem to be highly connected to the love situationships and or relationships that are coming out and that will be coming around the corner, depending on which pile we're talking about. But I digress. It was some need there for somebody to hear that, okay? Because I could not even say it, really, truthfully. But pile number one, I do have a message from this person, but let's first talk, okay, about who this could be. Now, here's where it gets tricky because I could be trying to say that this is involving your person, and really it's your person highlighting your own energy, and that's how often in the spiritual community and in the tarot community, energies can be flip flopped the way that they can be sometimes. I have four archetype cards for whom we may be speaking about or speaking um, with, really, okay? And we've got pregnant, we've got busty chest, we've got woman, and wavy hair come out, okay? Um, there could be some significance to brunette hair, irregardless of whether guy, girl, what have you. But interestingly enough, all of the cards that came out for the archetypes do highlight a woman and or feminine appearing figure, okay? So take of that what you will. All right, just trying to hone in on some aspects of clarity as I'm able to offer them to you, collective. And for pile number one, those were the archetype cards that came out. So whether they are, you know, a mix of your own energy with the person on your mind here. But let's talk, okay? This person, you know, their messages, I knew I was losing you, but I didn't do anything to fight for you. They're also saying, I was afraid that you would reject me if I shared my feelings to you. And interestingly enough, when I look at the tarot, I'm looking at the Strength card, the Magician, the Four of Pentacles, which lead to a very divine breakthrough assistant ace, okay? Ace of Swords, which is often touted as the sword of Archangel Michael. So Archangel Michael may be an archangel that is of some highlighted significance to you, your path, your prayer and or meditation life, your collective. All right, for pile number one. But really what these cards are also talking about is basically the guidance here, and this is why that word is in the title. So for pile number one, the guidance here is to continue to utilize your strength, continue to believe in your own master manifestor type capabilities, because yes, you do. Yes, you are, and as you should. Okay. Because this person, shows on this, has not given up on having, you know, furthered romance with you, yes, but also, you know, something that really does give potential to be, you know, not only a caring, concerning type of connection, but actually a lover's connection. And on the other side of that divine breakthrough assistant ace, wielding or, yeah, wielding Archangel Michael's sword here is another divine breakthrough assistant ace regarding a new path, a new a lease on the potentiality of the connection. All right, furthering, dare I say, emblazoning the passion that you both already share, yes, but also have experienced. Okay, so of course, pile number one, you're going to resonate with this if you know who we're speaking about. Okay, this is not some unknown lover to you. Okay, and of course, we're talking separation, but my goodness, if two aces weren't enough, okay, even on the worst day of this connection in this new revamped phase of it, okay, the worst day is giving 10 of cups. I'm so serious. All right, and on top of that, just to really solidify what's really happening here behind the scenes, you and this person are both actively manifesting each other and this rebirth phase. Okay, on the other side of the death energy, I get that, right? there's the separation. See how it's purposeful? See how it's beneficial, even though you can also see, if you wanted to, that it is, perhaps some other things like, lonely, um, trying, okay? But of course, these are stimuli and, dare I say, catalytic type of energies to assist you on the other side. Of course, you'll see that in hindsight, which is often 2020, crystal clear vision. But shoot, don't you want to kind of F around and find out anyway, since you're manifesting exactly what you are going to receive out of this connection, all right? Their message here is, you are my perfect mirror. So this, man, my nose is doing that thing, you guys bear with. Um, and this is giving twin flame vibes, right? Because usually you don't talk about a mirror uh, with soulmates, right? Usually you hear that about twin flames, or even if you don't want to say twin flame, it's that high level, top tier, upper echelon type of soulmate vibes, or many often tout it as kingdom spouse vibes, right? You are my perfect mirror. I reflect everything within your consciousness. All right. So this may be something that somebody has had an epiphany about outside of the connection. Okay. So this could mean that, maybe even this person, uh, intended, attempted, however many times or not, right? To even replace you, to move on from the connection, to, let sleeping dogs lie, as it were. Gosh. One second. I know, and hear me out, you guys. My candle lit tonight is scentless. So it's not even the candle, right? Just saying. The next card out, you were a risk, a mystery, and the most certain thing I'd ever known. And again, because we were talking about separation here, whether we're talking twin flame or not, uh, what we just talked about was daunting enough and created the presence of fear enough within them. Not saying it was anything you did, just because you exist and just because you're that crystal clear mirror, perhaps, right? But it was enough for this person to run. So runner chaser, excuse me, dynamic also comes to mind. So sorry, you guys. This must be somebody's high key truth, because the nose is vibrating at this point. All right. When souls electrically connect via the heart, time and space does not hinder communication. Came out as well as, my dear, our souls met long before our eyes did. All right, so this really, at this point, I'm like convinced this is twin flames. All right, so if you don't subscribe to being a twin flame, okay, and the rest of this is not making sense for you, this may not be your pile, no worries. We've got others, okay? But this person saying, you walked into my heart like you always belonged there, took down my walls and lit my soul on fire, right? Scary-ish, right? Especially if this is like, uh, you know, we're reading for your divine masculine kind of thing. Energy, right? Not even necessarily meat suit, but it's often, understood within the spiritual community that high priestess energy, aka divine feminine energy, at this point, at that level of conscious awareness, even, oh, and in New Earth, is most often tapped in at least a couple steps before. Not like it's a contest, but usually the divine feminine is often the spiritualist or the spiritual teacher, um a little bit over, patriarchy won't allow for this kind of teaching. Patriarchy is like, okay, well, even if tarot has to exist, right? Because depending on what sect we are finding said patriarchy to exist and lie in, okay, they don't want it touted necessarily. that, you know, women are even capable of being prophets, prophetesses, right? Let alone something like a high priestess, okay? But, you know, I digress. That's giving like rabbit hole energy for another day. It's late, okay? But you get where I'm going with that. So this person could have felt like, you know what, like who, like where are you coming out of left field? I was unprepared for this. Who are you to tell me everything and more about myself to the point where I had to learn from you, kind of thing. You know, about me. How are you going to tell me about me when you're not me? Oh wait, but see, had to find out that, you know, for the twin flames, yeah, you can basically say y'all are connected enough to be each other, because when you kind of, I hate to use this phraseology, but this is the only thing I can think of at this point. When you dumb your existence down to the root, okay, um, aside from you refracting back down to, well, not even down, but like at your root to be a fractal of source energy. Same deal for this person, your person, you. Okay. For those that resonate as being subscribed to the twin flame journey. All right. Now, not necessarily the same deal for soulmate energy, though you definitely, same deal, refract back onto source, onto universal energies, onto the creator. All right. Makes sense? Just to keep your, you know, it it took me a long time, and I'm not saying I know everything about anything, to be clear, right? But it took me a long time to kind of just wrap my head around that twin flame situation, because it can be excuse me, it can be quite triggering. Oh my gosh, you know what, the day that I wake up and I realize that karmic energies just gave up is just going to be the most joyous, the most refreshing day ever. Because I tell you what, if I never again see a synchronicity about karmics being karmics, it just would be too soon. So serious. I'm literally, it's very late where I'm at. You guys mostly know that because I feel like you're in the States mostly at this point, but you may not be on my coast. And I need you to know there's really no real reason for a fly to be like at anybody's window right now. And I'm sitting here looking at one and I'm just like, this is just so asinine. Like, it's silly. And you know what? At this point, it is life changing. And you know what? I don't even mind it, because I know that the way it's life changing for me is so great that people will most assuredly be, remain, and become jealous. All right, which is so sad, because instead they could have just created their own great karma, just the same as we all have our chances to do. But no, it's so interesting that some people can be so arrogant that they become stupid. It's really interesting. It's kind of sad and really life changing for them too, interestingly enough. And some people will just really have to find that out the extreme hard way. But you know what? I try not to even get too emotionally invested in it anymore, because it could be just the same by divine agenda, divine right, and divine role that they remain arrogant and in karmicville. So what of it? Why should I be concerned? Right? And you know what? I'm sharing right now because in real time, this is what I'm experiencing. But I'm also sharing just to allow for you guys to know whatever you're facing, okay, you're not alone. And whatever you're facing doesn't have to unend you. You know what I'm saying? But it is so interesting. Sometimes I do like to make remarks about it, because I sometimes you just, it's like so much in my face that I think maybe I should talk about it in case someone else is going through similar things. And you know what? That seems to be a running vein or theme in tonight's session. So I'm talking about it for great reason, I'm sure. And whoever, you don't really need to magnify the situation, but whoever is going through whatever you may be going through spiritually and otherwise, You know what? Just go on ahead and get grateful and get excited, okay? Because it's gonna get really, really great, like really, really soon. Because Ish is hitting the fan, like while I'm even delivering this message. I'm so serious, okay? Um, so interestingly enough, pound number one, your person is kind of outing the situation here, okay? Referable to the history. This last card says, we have both tried to run from our love, but our souls crave this magic. I am making my way back to you. And you know what? You guys definitely are both heavily manifesting each other. You're definitely connecting in 5D energies. I'm hearing to say and beyond. Okay. And so I get a lot of telepathic communication. There could also be astral projection as well as remote viewing going on. You guys both really feel like old souls with a lot of intuitive abilities and magic. I mean, like the card said, like magic is not really it, it's kind of like a sentiment here, right? Not necessarily bippity boppity, right? I don't get that anyone here is like producing some sort of like love spell situation. And good thing, because how loving is that, right? Like if you've got to manipulate and strong arm, I'm sorry, where was the love part? Like I'm not what love? I think you need to relearn that. Nope, not even relearn. Just learn what love is, because it's none of that, right? So to be clear, I'm gonna go ahead and check out the first, middle, or last name on the part of this person. It could come out your-ish too, though, collective, right? So take what resonates. And I'm going to hit the bell, you guys. Those that know what to do, all right, you are more than welcome to do so according to the live stream rules. If you'd like to wait, the bell will again ring, so no worries there too. But if you would like maybe you can't stick around, I get that. If you would like to go ahead and get your question according to the live stream rules, which we've got a link now, you guys. If you don't know how to understand what the rules are, how to find the box, okay. I do believe that we have a couple of our moderators on here. It's Sean and Fiona, right? And so if you should need that link, please let one of them know, please and thank you. And thank you, moderators. You guys, I have not forgotten about playing catch up on what we were already starting to do. Just bear with, okay? I'm still climbing up the mountain, but I'm coming. Don't you worry. All right. So thanks for sticking out with your girl. It has been an experience and a journey, but you know what? Not one I regret. So thank you for being part of it. Okay. I know it's a choice. All right. So as far as initials for pound number one, you guys, we do have a lot come out. All right. Not so many chart placements, only Aries and Pisces from what I can see here. So we'll get them out of the way. Whether this is on the part of you and or your person, pound number one. And we've got B. We've got U, whether first, middle, or last name initial, you guys. A on the part of this person and or you, honey bun. Okay. K. We've got H. We've got E. We've got Q. There's something trying to come through about a gate. I don't know if somebody resides somewhere where there is a gate, somebody resides in a gated community of sorts, or somebody what was the other one? Or somebody lives on like somebody's address could have gate in it. I'm not sure how to make sense of that. We've got O and we've got D. I almost said zero. Like what's your man's initials? 009. Like you have a terrace? Ooh. Thank you, Sean, for posting that link, babe. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. I'm here. You guys know Bob's Burgers. Like I'm feeling like Linda right now, but it's like that one song where like she kind of made up and it's like, thank you for loving me. That's kind of what, I don't know, I'm wanting to channel through at the moment. Thank you for loving me. All right, so yeah, I don't know. That's what I have for pile number 1. All right, feels like okay. I mean, I did it again, you guys. I hit the super chat. I don't know if I can keep this. If I keep hitting it. All right, Louise and Bob are your favorites. I love them all though. Like they're all okay. Hear me out, you guys, real quick. Bob's Burgers. If you really dissect the situation, they're all kind of each other. Linda can be like Bob, and Bob can be like Linda. It's not always, right? But like obviously Bob and Jean, same deal, right? Obviously Louise and Linda, same deal, as well as Tina and Bob, and like they all just take turns at like being the same. It's almost like sometimes like I look at them and I go, okay, if I'm making this spiritual, they clearly seem to have like the same oversoul, right? How you would say they're connected and how you would say they're family. Yeah, but they're all like kind of intertwined to the point where if you kind of try to separate them, it doesn't really work so well because they're always part and parcel of the same vibe. I'll just leave it at that because I don't want to get too technical, but I'm trying to really kind of get you guys to kind of get the mental wheels going about when you're in your realities, who all you might be engaging and interacting with and what that may mean and why. Because sometimes you'll find that there are seasons where you're to be around people, right? Other people, just the same, they will always be kind of part of your world because that's the way the setup is. And you got to wonder why. The reason why you would wonder why is not because you want to freak out and just be all like scaredy, right? But wonder why so you can take notes. Like, for instance, if you've got this friend, but the friend is like so, like, how do I say this? Like a kindred spirit, but not in the sense of just romance, you guys. Get your head out of the where do you have that? No, let me stop. But in the sense of like like if you meet somebody and you're like, man, this feels like, soul vibe tribe, right? Feels like I know you, your family, right? We're cut from the same cloth, even, but maybe there's like these differences in the real time aspect where you're looking at this person going, I remember when I was there learning that lesson, and you can empower them, chills on this, to be like, here's the cheat code, right? Maybe you don't call it that. Maybe you lead by example, even. All right. And so you can learn from them, they can learn from you. Whole time you are really engaging in why we do exist here, which is to basically learn and grow our soul and take that information, that experience back onto source. Now, how would that be? Because we refract back onto source. We're all connected. See how that, and so you can once you can really kind of see things for what it is spiritually, and this is why I say all the time on the channel, you guys, this life is far more spiritual than you may realize, even in the moment, right? Even in your doing the work, right? Sometimes you can be so hyper focused on doing the work, you're not really getting the full aspect of the full picture. Okay, which also reflects back onto source because this life is far more spiritual. I hope I'm making sense for somebody here, but you guys, everything in your life and everyone, okay, even inside of every moment has a purpose. So please don't think that any one season, any one relationship, any one job, right? Any one attempts at reaching a goal is a waste. It could never be. It's all part and parcel of the same journey and experience that you signed up to receive, to learn and grow your soul, to take back onto source reunification and power magnification, as well as education. All right. It's pretty big stuff. Just saying. You guys are amazing. Of course you are. You reflect back onto universal, some may say God, others source, energy, entity, creation, creator. Okay. So don't let anyone at all, including yourselves, make you feel like you're inadequate and that you are small and that you are someone to be overlooked, because that's never the case. Like at all. Never. Not even on your bad days. So serious, you guys. All right, let me get to the questions here. I know it's late. Love and light, Sean. Sean Bobsian, are you just making affirmations like you've received good news now, or are you asking? I'm like, I like that if you're just affirming, like yes, right? Oh, you're saying do you see a spirit around me that you know? Um, I don't know why you would ask me that, babe, because you want me to ask the tarot if it sees a spirit that you know? I mean, we're never alone at this, so there would always be, whether you had awareness of it or not, presence around you that, so I'm not exactly sure. I'm not picking on you, babe. I'm trying to get clarity. Because do you want me to ask the tarot if it sees a spirit around you? Or are you trying to ask me as a psychic medium to tap in? I'm not exactly, I mean, I'm not seeing any spirits at all right now. I'm on the chat with you guys, if that makes sense. So I wasn't opening the channel in that way. You guys read the, because you get one free question too. Sean, I'm seeing you ask a couple questions, and I don't see any answers to my questions. So you're saying either or. So I will just give you whatever comes out then, babe. Yes or no for your question, and I'll let you do the rest there, because I'm, I don't want to take any more time being in my own confusion, if that makes sense. So we do have a yes, okay? With this being a Knight of Pentacles, this could be someone, who, when they passed over, was not like, elderly. Okay. This could also mean that this person is a youthful type of energy. Okay. So I'm saying spirit energy, same deal there. This could be an earth sign that you would have known them to be for their chart placements. It doesn't have to be the case, but either way, it's a yes for you, babe. There is something being highlighted about finishing what you start. So this could be a request for some form of encouragement coming through to keep you encouraged, and or, okay, because I have to kind of round it out here. This could be somebody that that would maybe have regrets about some things that they didn't finish, if you know them to kind of have started projects and not really been the one to finish them, okay? And there could be something about the month of September, whether your birth date or theirs, okay, with the Nine of Wands being at the bottom of the deck. That's the best I can do for you on free yes, no on the live, babe. All right, love and light. And oh my goodness. You know what's confusing? They both say chat on there. It's the chat, live chat. What is it? The live chat and the super chat. I'm gonna be mindful not to hit that live chat. That's what keeps happening whenever I go away, you guys. If it makes me go away, sorry, not intending to do that. My goodness, I have to like hyper focus, I think, for a few more sessions before I get my footing on that one, maybe. So bear with you guys, because I don't want to come across like I'm not actually addressing you. I'm trying to address you, but also learn the new screen here on my end. So, all right, let me scroll back up to Eatme's question, which is, let me find it. You know what? Okay, no, here we go. Okay, here's Eat Me. Well, I mean, if you have like cocoa butter, you could get, usually that's like a couple bucks for a stick from like Walmart or any kind of like beauty supply store. That would definitely assist with not scarring, right? Oh my goodness, hold on, that's way too many. Okay, here we go. So I'm getting that, you know, skin was punctured, right? So there is the necessity for it to heal. The Queen of Wands came out of the deck here, Eat Me, and that is a yes, but the bottom of the deck is a no, and it's also the card of conflict, like battle, okay? And so, long story short, with me trying to intuitively ask for further clarification and guidance, referable to the tarot, and Spirit has reconfirmed that what I've received is correct. Long story short, it should be very minimal scarring, okay? And there's this sidecar of please don't like get into your head and like create a scarification worse than it ought to be kind of thing. So the scar that I'm expecting would be once healed, maybe looks like a speck of sand, like a granule of sand type of like scarification or marking. All right. However, if you are festering in the mental space about okay no I think like for instance you know you're like oh is it warm here, is it itchy here, like and now you're like looking for ways to check to see like how infected you are kind of thing, right? Then you could be creating a situation that didn't have to be created. You know what I mean? Even according to divine right, wrong agenda, right? So please don't be that one that kind of worries yourself into or starts, you know, God forbid you started worrying and now you're like, is this itchy? Is it? And you're scratching at it. You know what I mean? So things like that. You want to be mindful, like not to be participating in, because otherwise it's kind of giving it's good. You're all right. You know, you're more than all right, and make sure you tell the story that way too, so it doesn't get worse, kind of thing. All right. So that's what I have for you. Eat me. Not that I'm saying you want to make it worse. Oh, forgive me. I'm trying to make sure I don't hit the wrong thing. Not saying that it's coming through the channeling that you want to make it worse. I'm just saying please be mindful. If you are touching about it, make sure your hands, your nails are clean, kind of thing. Don't allow any animal or anything to, you know, like dig into it any more than they already have. Obviously, if you can help it, which it's giving, you should be able to help it. I don't see any more battles coming around the corner there. Okay. Oh, you have freckles. Okay. Well, even if you you know what would be good, Eat Me? I don't know if you're familiar with it, but there is a product that I know is sold in like dollar stores, even sometimes in smaller amounts, as well as drugstores. And it's called Bag Balm, BAG space BALM. And it is like an antiseptic type of drawing salve. And I know about it because my grandfather used to use it on his farm. And often the farmers would put it on like the cow udders and things like that because they would get like chafed and chapped and cut, and they would often bleed. And so they still needed to be milked, kind of thing. And so you have to keep it real clean so that they wouldn't actually get infected and then also infect the product. So, yep, bag balm, that's it. Okay. And seriously, I don't know what dollar stores you might have in your area or drugstores to say. Because I know you're in Cali, so I'm not sure. But you know who may have it as well? Like Target, Walmart would definitely have a bit of that. I feel like Vaseline's not it. Like Vaseline is a skin protectant more so than an antiseptic, as well as skin protectant. So I would say if you can't get bag balm, then Aquaphor would suffice, right? Love and light, Juanita. All right, so now let me see, you guys. Did I skip over anybody? Because we got Eat Me, right? Oh, here we go. Cynthia, love and light. Okay, let's see about Charles. All right, I something told me, I was like, wait, I think we missing one. All right, so we're good after Cynthia, I think, unless I missed somebody. You guys, let me know because it's late, and I might I might do it, not on purpose, but just saying. I don't want to do it, but all right. Oh, Cynthia. Whatever you went through for this wait to get this answer, I'm sure is going to be a-okay with you when you see these cards. We'll talk about the first one, the one that came out of the deck, okay? It's a yes, right? And it's a judgment yes, right? So if you were questioning whether your person here was questioning exactly like next steps, all right? Seems like they have made a final judgment call, no pun intended, because the bottom of the deck is the Ace of Cups, babe. So if you guys have had some sort of rocky moment, okay, there's a rebirth here, a new phase. If you're in separation, same deal, new phase. And if you're in this person's midst, in their grasp often, and you just wondered, all right, they're very much contented with the idea of loving you, let alone actually loving you, literally loving you, okay? So that's what I have for you, Cynthia. Much love and light. Okay. Okay, now let me see here, Sean. You're very welcome. Eat me. Okay, now in my truck to move into my. Okay, let me see. Ooh, next spring. I'm hearing don't settle. Okay. What I mean by that is the sentiment regarding um like like often with manifestation, right? Especially when you are instilling, you know, the other aspects like discipline, faith, right? You're going to get more opportunity more often than not than what you're expecting, needing, wanting. Because again, it goes back to karmic repercussions for the chosen one, which really are just treats and goodies usually. Just saying, it's not like for karmics who reside in Karmicville, right? Their repercussions hurt. Okay. And you've got the star card, okay? And I can't show it. You know why? High Priestess, Sean, you, right? But this is again full sentiment about that Earth Angel chosen ones vibes, right? And their karmic repercussions. So don't settle, meaning, you know, even in your manifestations, when you say, am I on track, right? You would have to also infuse aspects of imagination, right? In order to continue and in order to have even started to manifest, right? Even then, don't settle, right? Talking about, well, I would just be grateful to just have manifested just the basic bare minimum. It's like, okay, yeah, obviously, but like, why are you aiming for the basic bare minimum by hyper focusing on that? Because at some point, you've got to be honest with yourself and understand that when you're actioning out that way, when you're manifesting that way, when you're believing that way, you're literally manifesting that way and believing that way. And so it will action out that way more often than not. So again, do not settle. All right. So of course the star card gives you a very fate-filled fat ass yes, right, Sean? But you know, don't settle just because the yes is a yes. Make it the most highest vibrational yes. Make it the most magical yes. Make the most imagined out yes. right? And understanding that the reason why you're not settling anymore, even in your imagination and your manifestation ideations, is because you know your worth, all right? Not because you know the how, not because you know the budget necessarily, even, all right? So that's what I'm getting for you, Sean. But it's a yes. Okay, good job. Congratulations. All right. And you're very welcome, Cynthia Lewis. Much love and light, babe. Okay, so let's get into this next pile real quick. And we are starting at 105.30 here for pile number 2. And again, pile number 2 was the selenite Merkaba. All right. No, wait, Sean. I was talking to the other Sean about the question a few moments ago, but I was just now doing your reading, to be clear. Sean, the monitor. All right. 11 light. Juanita, if you have a question too, you may pop it in according to the live stream rules. And let's see, where's Daisy? 11 light cat goddess. I didn't see you slip in there, babe. Where is Daisy? What do you mean? I don't see a Daisy. You know what? Maybe it glitched because I hit that freaking super chat. Because I don't even see Daisy. Can you pop your question in again for me, hun? Because I'm not able to see it anymore, unfortunately, on my end. Okay. So hopefully we're good now though on the confusion, because I really don't enjoy confusion. So I wanna, like, if there's still confusion, we gotta clear that up. Sean or Sean. All right. Okay, Daisy's question. If Daisy's still here. You know what, you guys? I do prefer that if I'm speaking to somebody that they actually speak to me too. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Daisy. Because the only reason why, mods, is because, like, as we get more people on here, what I don't want to do is, if people left, that I should be serving them when they're not here, when others are in the queue waiting, if that makes sense. Not that I'm here not to read anyone's cards, but I do want to make sense of it, because even now it's very late, and people do have to drop off. I get it. All right. So thank you so much, though, Fiona. You're on it. And Daisy, here, let's get your question answered. Thank you for your patience. And thank you, Sean, for letting me know that the confusion has dissipated. Because I'm like, oh, I'm like, what? Confusion? How dare you? I don't enjoy that spirit of confusion. But I don't mind clearing it up, so no worries there. And thank you for fighting through that. Okay. No, Daisy, you're not. No. You're not. The confusion I was mentioning had to do with two of the Seans that were currently, or are, or were on the live stream with us, Daisy, to be clear. And my apologies, Daisy, for missing your question. Definitely wasn't intentional, okay? And thank you for your patience again. And, it's kind of crazy, though. On top of you being patient, on top of you already being so patient tonight, Daisy, you are still being asked to utilize your strength. I mean, obviously because you can, right? Not necessarily because it's what you want to hear, or what is appearing to be the easiest in this, right? But let me so I'm seeing with the strength card that you should be working on the self-doubt, right? So it's like, okay, you put your petition into the divine, you put your prayer out there, however you subscribe, however you believe, okay, spiritually here. And then something happens or nothing happens, and you just go, was I heard? Did I? say that correctly? Should I want that? Like, the self-doubt is kind of getting in the way of what you could have been getting on with. And what I mean by that is not necessarily one particular person, but the experience that you could be enjoying here, whether with the particular person that you know you may have in mind or not. All right. Now regarding tomorrow, I don't know why. One second here, Daisy. Because nothing just happens. Something disturbed this particular deck, so I'm just going to see if there's something in it that I'm supposed to be bringing to you. Oh, we've got somebody muscular. Okay, so maybe this is giving who you'd like to be seeing tomorrow. Let me see. Let me go back to your original question. Will any surprises happen for me tomorrow? Okay. And the other card that came out in answer to your yes no from the tarot was another yes here, aside from strength. And that does have to deal with the soulmate. Okay. When I see Six of Pentacles, and depending on the other cards too, as well with the Six of Cups. But we do have the Six of Pentacles coming out here. So long story short, yes. And this could be connecting to a masculine, someone muscular, okay? And interestingly enough, I'm now looking at the Four of Swords card at the bottom of the deck, which indicates some form of healing. Okay, so maybe tomorrow there's some sort of truce. Maybe tomorrow there's some sort of fated encounter, meeting with an individual, whether you know them or not. That could be part and parcel of the surprise. All right, it's giving soulmate, it's giving healing. And so I don't see any problems there. Hopefully that resonates for you. This person could have facial hair. Then there could be some significance to white clothing, whether on the part of you or this person. Somebody here could have a round face, and brunette or blonde hair is coming out here as well. For some reason, just saying. I wasn't asking, but I was definitely asked to check that deck out because of a I don't even want to get into that, but I know the signs, and something just shifted there. There could be a shift tomorrow. You know what I would do if I were you? 10 minutes before you're going to pass out tonight, Daisy, whatever you want to receive tomorrow, whatever you want to experience tomorrow, how you want to feel tomorrow, and not even just in the emotional sense, but physically, right? You're going to want to kind of order that up. And how you do that, utilizing your manifestation energy, is you really just get into a feeling good space, right? Might even just want to put a smile about your face, right? It's okay, no one's really looking anyways, right? You can do it in the dark. And it doesn't have to be something really ritualistic, but it does have to do with authenticity, right? Really believing, really utilizing your faith as well as your hope. There are differences between one and the other, okay? And utilize your imagination. Daisy and anyone else who can make sense of this, all right? It's really important about the moments before you hit that pillow, yes, but actually pass out. The 10 minutes or in around thereabouts. If you can really kind of get into that manifestation mode, right? And really delusion yourself into really believing that, okay, like literally tomorrow, that's exactly, and then just get grateful. Like, I'm so grateful tomorrow, like I'm really gonna have this fated encounter. Like, I'm so grateful tomorrow, I'm gonna really feel like I'm healthy, I'm wealthy. I really believe that because wealth and health already exists for me, because love already exists, it exists for me, right? And you just start imagining, if you're someone who wears a bit of makeup, or wears a bit of cologne, or wears some accessories, right? Like hats come to mind. Which one of those are you wearing tomorrow? How are you looking, feeling, smelling? How are you grateful already in your tomorrow about tomorrow, right? Not even just grateful right now about tomorrow. All right, put it all together and keep doing it. It might be a try again process, but the more you try, the more you're going to see evidence of your ability, okay? and the easier and the bigger the manifestations. So serious, you guys. All right. So it doesn't really matter too much about what you're talking about regarding your manifestation, except for, to be clear, all right, you're not here to manipulate anyone else's free will and or take that away from them. So not to give a doom and gloom message, but if you're looking to manifest, some sort of celebrity tomorrow, right? You could get a doppelganger, maybe, a clone at best. No, let me stop. But anyhow, right? To be clear. So if you want somebody that looks like a certain celebrity, right? You can get that. Just don't be necessarily expecting that you get the exact celebrity, right? Um, because think about it. Think about how unsafe that would be if we had a free pass for that. You'd be sitting there with your husband or your wife or the love of your life at the dinner table for one moment, and 20 minutes later, you're still chewing on that steak or potato or whatever you got going on there, and you can't find where the hell they went, right? It would be because if that type of karmic law were, the law of the land, people could be swapping out destinies and wives and husbands with the blink of an eye and the snap of some fingers. Just saying, right? So make it make sense. It's okay that we don't get everything that we want always and always in the real time space of thinking, even let alone believing that we want them. Sometimes we've got to even figure out, what do we want, right? And that's okay too. All right, so definitely not a doom and gloom message all around, but just to be clear, you're not going to insist from the divine universe that Jason Momoa is in your bed tomorrow night, right? Just saying, okay? Now, I'm not here to tell you that miracles don't happen. In fact, I tell you the opposite all the time, and that is very much a thing. So, if you tell me, my goodness, it happened to be that, whatever, the stars aligned and that man was literally okay, then that must be something that is fated to have been an occurrence and a part and parcel of your experience while here. I get that. I'm not here to say that, it can't happen. But to be clear, you guys, I just really can't have anyone out there thinking like, okay, let me just actually take so and so from so and just make them mine. Like that's, again, it's, how is that love, right? It's giving lust at best, and even then, it's kind of giving me the ick if I think about it long enough. Just saying, don't be that one, you guys. You're very, very much welcome, Daisy. Thank you for enjoying the guidance, and yes, definitely keep me updated. Of course, of course. That's what I'm here for. Love and light. All right. Oh, thanks, Fiona. You know what? You kind of have to have almost like a big head to kind of do a hat very well, I think. Unless we're talking some of the vintage models, and then it almost seems like, gosh, did they, I don't know. I think it's probably a difference in the environment with which the food and some other things are created. But those people were tiny. Even if you look at the cars back then, like, yikes. I very much love. Oh my gosh, you guys! I was out earlier, uh, running some errands for someone, and I had to stop into uh, one of the stores that's nearby. One of my, I don't know. I really like the Goodwill thrift stores, you guys. So sometimes when I'm in the area, I'll pop in there, and I found these super cutie, retro inspired polka dot heels. I was like, ah! And they were like $7. I was like, so like, this is so great. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to like wear them and like, I don't know. I'm almost like, do I actually have to go on a dating site, you guys? Like, what do you guys think? I don't know. Because I'm like, you know what? I have like these clothes, and I've been like manifesting, and I'm thinking like, is it me that's just not taking the leap to go? I just had some really bad experiences though, like on some of those. It's like me being all authentic and everything, and then just to come to find out that other people couldn't be that. And I'm like, I don't know, I guess I could just buy myself flowers anymore. But I'm thinking to myself, I'm looking and I'm like, okay, I'm literally creating outfit after outfit with which to have like these great experiences. And it's like, yeah, I could go and like show myself off to myself, but then that kind of seems like it might easily be interpreted as some sort of form of narcissism or like going back to the big head, like literally a big head situation, which I promise you I'm not that one. Right? Like I know my worth and I know how to add tax, but um I have no like desire to be arrogant. You know what I mean? And the funny thing is, you guys, you want to know how many times I get accused of being just that? Like I'm thinking to myself, okay, so that has way more to do with you than it has to do with me. You just thought it was about me, right? Like I must have triggered you because of what you got going on. Because I know in my heart space, like I'm over here celebrating me because I learned to do that because I had to be my own cheerleader. Because even at some of these spiritual things, you guys, I didn't have anybody there like beside me going, yeah, good job. Like I really didn't. And even if I were in certain people's graces to receive some of those compliments, me being an energy reader and not a dumbass, I'm like, yeah, no, like you don't even mean that. Like you barely got that out of you're still chewing on that last word, aren't you? And I didn't even force it out of you. It's so people are so odd when they show their true colors, their true nature. If you're paying attention, it's really can be really intriguing. Oh my gosh, you know what, Fiona? I was thinking of starting a channel to do stuff like that because I don't know. Like, otherwise, I'm kind of shopping, talking to myself anyways. It'd be better if I like had the phone with, guys, look at this. But then I was like, maybe I don't want to do that to myself either because I don't know. I get like very overstimulated. Like, I'll just be like, oh my gosh, look at these shoes, like, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, that scenario plus the encouragement because like if you guys feed into it too, like it might get out of hand and then I don't want to get in trouble. Or like somebody over the PA, like there's an aisle 17 a situation. It's just me on the floor like drooling over like some dress I found randomly and how I can put three of them together to make something else. I don't know if you guys can handle it. No, I'm just joking. I don't even know if I can handle it. It might be too much. Like if I had to like, I don't know. Some things should just be done off camera. Let me stop. But I don't know. I have like in the past watched other YouTubers who like created videos like that, and I was like, oh, this is fun. It's kind of like an experience. So I was thinking about maybe like I don't know, doing something else where it wasn't just tarot. It was like other stuff because I don't just do tarot anyway, so it kind of makes sense. But then I was like, okay, first things first, let me focus. So on the other side of that kind of like board meeting that I had with myself a few hours earlier, I was like, let me just continue on with this paperwork process for like according to YouTube rules and this that and the third, so I can get my footing before I start creating any more channels. See how I can get overstimulated sometimes, you guys, but I digress. Um, yes, I think it. No, I like to call it upcycling. Like, oof, because you guys, for if you don't know, it's because you didn't check the description box. Just saying, because your girl is definitely trying to share. Because I definitely love you guys, right? But I do other stuff. Like I'm a designer, okay, singer songwriter. I got a lot going on. Okay, it's not just the tarot, but I do very much enjoy that tarot gave me an ability to connect with my people, which is way, way important. Okay, even probably more so than design capabilities that I carry, right? And so I really do mean it. I love you guys. You guys are my people, my family, my friends, my soul tribe. Okay, and I very much do enjoy what we do on here. But I was thinking, it would be nice to down the line. try to find other ways with which to share, right? And maybe go some places. Okay, now that I can finally use my cell phone. You guys remember back then whenever I was like, please help me use my cell phone. So we're making great strides together, and I'm not mindful of that as well. I do want to find a way to give back in other ways beyond just the yes no tarot too. So stay tuned. All right, big things ahead. I'm excited. All right, you like leather bags? Oh, thank you, Eat Me. You know what? I don't even want to lock myself into leather referable to bags because I do enjoy other fabrics too, like velvet comes to mind. I do like I also have this thing where I'm always like trying to rip apart pillows to be like, make this a purse. And I just, if I had the time and, you know, all of that, man, I'd be doing even more than I'm grateful to be able to do now, right? But I do often wonder, like, hey, left to my own devices kind of thing. Like, if I actually, like, had nothing I had to do, what all could I do kind of thing, you know? But I think as a creator, and many of us, I mean, I feel like we all are, whether we're aware of that or not, we are creating, whether you are creating a meal, whether you are creating a full-on art project, right? Creating a piece of writing, literature, right? You guys are all creators, and I think that that is part and parcel of being old souls, right? Being ancient energy, okay? Being connected back unto the divinity, right? And I think that balance is needed, even referable to the realm of creation, because you can really spin out pretty fast trying to, you know, okay, I'm gonna, like, you know, you tell yourself, okay, I'm gonna make a bag, you know, next thing you know, you're trying to make 20 bags and different colors and add this and take this away and have this type of function, this, that, and the third. And you can just the same get overwhelmed. You can just the same get out of balance. And a lot can happen there. So, this is why we're always talking about a myriad of ways, because different strokes for different folks, right? To ground, to remain in, next to, or near that temperance angel, right? Temperance angel energy, okay? Because anything, whether you consider it good or bad or not, if it's too much or too little, is not okay, really, in the general sense of that sentiment. I mean, think about it. If you are overarching, right, or underarching, it's not the highest vibrational situation, dare I say, outcome, right? Because there is imbalance there. So balance is definitely key in anything that you're doing and anything that you are as well. Think about it, okay? If you are emotional, you want to be balanced. Okay. If you are present, checked in, you want to be balanced in spite of that, right? Could you imagine understanding that, okay, I'm standing in line right now, we're waiting to, you know, I don't know, who cares, right? Buy tickets, see the doctor, get food, okay? And in spite of you knowing that, so you're checked in, right? You're imbalanced, so you're screaming like bloody murder, but there's no real reason to do that other than the way that maybe you're feeling inside at that moment. Could you imagine how unsafe that might feel for most people around you? Okay. Hell, it might even feel a little unsafe for you if you're checked in, understanding that really all we're doing here is waiting in line and just gotta stay in the queue, and then the end game, who cares what it is, the doctor visit is complete, the meal is chewed upon, or, you know, whatever, right? So be mindful that your balance or lack thereof definitely is something that is able to affect others around you. And often, I mean, I'd like to say it, okay? You know, usually others around you, you claim to know and love. Right? So you want to be mindful, you know. It's one thing to say, okay, I'm no longer people pleasing. I'm not telling you to be a people pleaser. People pleasing lane doesn't lead anywhere pleasant, anyways, right? So that makes sense, checks out, right? But at the same time, to overarch that to say, I'm no longer mindful at all about anyone else other than myself is also just as toxic, right? Because you, what? Huh? Right? Connecting to source energy, life force energy, and you're going to be unmindful of anyone else always and in all ways, that doesn't check out. See how unsafe that could be too, right? So make sense of that as you will, if you will. All right, that was for someone. Okay. All right, so are we going on to the next pile here or what? Are we good on the let's see. I want to make sure. I'm just triple checking. Nope, we're good because we got Daisy and then we were just chatting. All right. Sometimes with the channeling, you guys, I'm like in and out. Not gonna lie. Okay. Pile number 2, we gotta talk. Okay. Unhealthy habits, okay, is connecting to this person's energy. Because I know this is not my collective, right? All the work we're doing around these parts, right? You don't get stuck in. You might be climbing out of some shit. You're not getting stuck in it, right? And we've got to talk, okay? Because somebody here got themselves stuck, honey, and they can't do it to you unless you let them. Okay, and this is where we're talking pile number 2, which is really at 130 at this point, you guys. Okay, now I could be talking to and or about a white American. Let's go with it. I don't know, I have to say it that way, it's weird. Somebody here could be tall, have a skin condition, and or be plus size. Okay, and you know, somebody here could also wear hats, right? Doesn't have to be the case. um but see, you know, if somebody is fuller figured, maybe didn't realize, hats do assist with slimming the face as well, right? Just sharing is caring. I'm not projecting or asking you to have body dysmorphia. I'm just saying, if you were thinking about trying a hat, go on ahead, I dare you. All right, it's a lot of fun, if I do say so myself. Except for when it's windy, I get that too. But I digress. We talked about the tall and we talked about the skin condition, so there's that. Now here's the sitch. You would know who I'm talking about. You already know who I'm talking about if this is your actual pile. Because this person would resonate with having regretted their career choice. Okay. It's giving street pharmacist, not really like the farm tech at the local grocer. Just saying, okay? This person does have a record. Shoplifting could be part and parcel of that. And this person could be hypersexual. You could know them to not really not bed for too long. Long story short, speaking in code, right? Marijuana is coming through as well. And there's some significance with, it's not even just like, ooh, Mary Jane, but it's like there's something referable to this person's bloodline, blood ties, and addiction. So I don't think we're talking about just marijuana at this point. And the reason why I say that is because this one card really is talking about like drug usage with parents. So this is like giving blood ties, blood, like, you know, that kind of person from that side of the tracks kind of feeling, you know what I mean? Or like even like maybe even like a what's eating Gilbert, like mental health and sexual health and spiritual health might be an issue for these folks at this point, and really connecting back to blood ties, lineage for this person. All right. And, I gather that we're talking pile number 2 about this person because you still wonder about them. You don't hate them. This is not a call for you to hate them. This is definitely a call for you to stop wondering about them. So we're going to give you clarity. Okay. At least that's the intention. If this is your pile number 2, and again, that was the selenite Merkaba. You might want to look up the Merkaba, okay, regardless of the selenite. But when you pair that with the selenite, boy, it kind of gives a top tier message there. Just saying. MER, I think it's MERKEBA is how you spell Merkaba, right? And so you may want to look that up and or work with the Merkaba. You can get them in just about any stone. And so depending on some of the symptoms or intentions that you are experiencing and or intending, you may want to you may want to pick out another stone other than the selenite. But you guys, selenite is literally like a very high vibes stone. It's also the stone that assists the other crystals with cleansing, right? Resetting. There is that rejuvenation energy, even the temperance energy through means of utilizing selenite. It's also grounding as well as cleansing. Okay. So I don't know why I'm going so hard with selenite, but I think it's not even necessarily for you to pick up more selenite or get it in the Merkaba. I think it's for you to understand the sentiment behind its synchronicity. Just say. Okay. First out the gate is the World card energy. This is not even a tarot, right? But this is the message. This is giving blunt energy, like, okay, you already know this, move on, right? Right, okay. But also, outing this person of definitely being in the streets. And gosh, didn't we just get out of the sheets to talk about the streets? This is the person's lifestyle. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? This is giving like that weekend song we talked about a couple months ago, where it's like basically like, I do it all for a home for the night kind of vibes, right? There's some significance with a key or keys and fuel or gas. Maybe this person could have used you for your car, could have used you, for transportation, whether you were driving your car or they were, and or this person could have really owe you money or just have taken from you to the point where karmically they owe you like for basically manifesting off of your own energy, like either in front of your face and or behind your back, right? And so this definitely is somebody that you've had a sexual connection with as well. And This person, even in current energies with the club coming out and house under construction, is just a hot mess. This is the type of person that's like, you know what, this isn't working, so let me go out and use this other person until I can rework the infrastructure here and get back in their good graces, kind of. And I don't know if you were even aware of this. Chills on that, right? It's like this person goes, okay, let me go get somebody else. Home ain't working, right? Or you know, is the type of person where it's like, dude, this is leaking and this needs fixing as well. There's like literally like a hole here, so like vermin can get in, right? And it's like, instead, this person's like, well, I don't really have the money to fix it, and I don't really have the wherewithal because I don't really care that much because I'm already just kind of like fucked up mentally and possibly on drugs, right? And it goes, yeah, I'll just go out. Meanwhile, the house is like needing like insulation and like joy, right? Um, this person, regardless of their age, because I'm not getting that this person is literally a teenager, but is giving angsty teen. So it's like, okay, you're looking for like a grown man, and here they're going, I am the grown man. It's like, I'm sorry, what was it? What? And there's some significance about the tongue. See how long the tongue is here on this one? All right. We also have a tongue card. So I get it. Maybe some of the pull, if you're being extremely honest, is not only perhaps that this person is some form of soulmate, okay? Uh, Perhaps with past life karmic and or just, hold on, not karmic, past life karma and or past life lessons attached to this relationship, situationship, okay? I get that, right? But is the tongue game enough just to keep you in the karma that this person got? Because man, that's not, this key has nothing to do with the keys to the streets, which you already got, right? If anything, take the fuel here and just burn the rest so it just backdrafts away from where you're going, which is away from this timeline, away from this karma, away from this experience, because you have been working on yourself here, right? Right? All right. So just so you know, maybe this angsty teen energy at one point or certain points was kind of palatable. It's like, oh, it's getting impulsive. It's getting, I feel alive. But this same impulsivity um, is part and parcel of someone who would impulsively leave the home to, you see what, see how that's, is the tongue game still like enough for you? Because ooh, I don't think that's not, nope. This person may smoke as well, and I don't know what I'm hearing. You don't want to know what I'm hearing. And it ain't Mary Jane. All right? And this person has money worries that keep them up at night. All right? Talking about, I'm just not in a good place right now, right? You want to see the place that they're this is giving, again, I was guided to it, I promise. The cocaine tarot, all right, could be some significance too. I mean, we've got a lot of swords, and sandwiched in between these swords is the temperance angel. This kind of gives some like synchronistic viewpoint here of basically what this person's energy had been doing to you, Earth Angel. Whether guy, girl, what have you, I'm so serious, okay? There could be some significance to a red lip because this person actually might have issues with women in general. Like mother issues. They could have been maybe, you know, telling stories about how they just weren't treated fairly the way even the women in their family were treated, right? And then that may be the case. Hell, I mean, if that's the case, it stands to reason why somebody should have a love-hate relationship with the opposite sex if that's all they know of the opposite sex. Makes sense? So, you know, going back to that blood ties, it seems to be like great dysfunction that this person has been birthed into and born out of. I'm not trying to be funny here, you guys. Literally, it's what I'm getting. It's giving. And with the Seven of Swords and the Ten of Swords, I mean, this person definitely isn't grounded, definitely isn't uh, even capable of being emotionally mature long enough. I mean, that would make sense that as to why we even have the angsty teen energy coming out from this person again, regardless of their age. I'm giving this as a man age 35 and above. Okay. Um, High Priestess energy leading to the Eight of Swords is exactly what they've done to you. Okay. I mean, I'm trying to make sure I can show these cards. Forgive me, because I just realized what deck I was about to hold up. This person could have even asked you to do some things that you questioned, you know, whether in the bedroom or for bedroom purposes or not. Could be some significance to knives. Maybe this person expected you to join in a knife play kink that they decided to pick up along the way because of brokenness and possibly trying to deflect resentment against women, right? Oh, well, we'll just call it hot kinkiness, right? But really, it's an excuse to break skin and get a little relief against the dragon that they just really didn't face about the root issue here. Okay, maybe they weren't even able to be authentic with themselves even, and of course this could be because of some substance issues. Okay. um I'm hearing Elvira, which is a very gosh, I don't know what era Elvira reigned in. I mean, some Elvira lovers, I guess, would still say she reigned, but I don't even know what decade even. But Elvira is a very iconic vampiress type of figure. I don't think she sung. I think she was like an actress. Um, and for some reason, or somebody's name is Elvira, right? You used to watch Elvira growing up. So Fiona, what do you think? Because I mean, that's somebody said that the fur baby's about the 90s, but I know Elvira is like way before the 90s. I don't know. I mean, like, I just don't know because I was so young. I'm not sure when she originated. Um, but you know what? Let me look at this here really quick as well, because there was a message came through a certain way. You are definitely POW number 2, collective member, coming out as Earth Angel energy, and as you should. But I kind of feel like I need to talk about it because I don't know if you say immediately, I resonate. I'm an Earth Angel, right? And it's like, you need to figure that out for you so that no one takes that essence, dare I say, light from you. And not in the sense of a doom and gloom, like, warning, you're, about to be right there, but in the sense of just don't allow yourself to not be protected enough emotionally, right? From you to you, as well as spiritually, from source to you and you to source. I mean, we just talked a few moments ago how that works. All right, here to learn and grow our soul, okay, to take the information, the experience, the wherewithal back onto source energy, right? Unification back onto source energy, not even just your twin flame for those that resonate with having a twin, long story short. And this person, karmic as they ever want to be, okay, came into your energy and took and stole, intentionally, unintentionally, purposefully, indirectly, directly, okay. They taught you lessons that you may never forget, and for that, therein is the experience. And really, if you're looking at it through certain kind of lens, usually spiritual, okay, uh therein lies the blessing. Okay, how do you know what you want if you don't know any of what you don't want? And some people come into our lives, into our seasons, into the storm, right, into the workplace, into the bedroom, okay, to show you and help you, teach you just that. Not in the sense of coming in to tell you who you are and what you want, but in the sense of them putting you perhaps through the ringer, you might say, to teach you in very dramatic and pain filled ways, all right, exactly who you are, what you want, what you don't want, what you will tolerate, what you will not tolerate. And so, knowing that, and as you're learning that, who you will tolerate and who you will not tolerate, right? So, therein lies the blessing. See how you can really kind of take your power back now and live in spite of the hurt, in spite of the maybe even intended victimization that these people, depending on who all I'm reading for tonight, this morning, um, may have intended. Okay, depending on what all you experienced here on a personal note. But the funny thing is, karma is really about they think, like, to be clear, they think, because they have been experiencing karma for every time you cried, every offense, every knife, literally or proverbially, they jabbed into you. Okay, yes, that has already been well underway, but they think that it's been served. And it's interesting that we do have this smoke card come out, because it's also kind of giving synchronicity as to how they think that karma has been just fully handed down. Like they can just move on and like they've survived, uh, its completion of, the sentence, the spiritual court sentence being handed down. They've served it. And that's what's so hilarious. It's bittersweet because of that, right? Um, this is kind of going back to what we were talking about in general course through the channeling too, about the karmics, right? Um, and you know what, you guys, it's often, I'm not gonna lie to you, part and parcel of divine right, role, and agenda that these karmics exist, that these karmics are karmics for you. And that's why sometimes you'll hear me say words to the effect of karmics are essentially on our payroll, right? They're working for us, they're assisting us, they're teaching us, they are, allowing us to learn and grow our souls, right? And allowing, their effery to really be part and parcel of stepping stones to build bridges, right? And or to throw away after we've burnt them down, right? Kind of thing. Access denied, okay? But you don't get to that point of empowerment necessarily without the stimulus, without the triggers, without the TRAUMA, right? The ABUSE even. Go figure, right? I'm not here saying, I stand for that and I love to hear about it. But, same deal about death, and that too has its own very significant purpose. Okay, just like when we talk about the DEATH card in the tarot, not something everybody wants to sign up for, even knowing it's beneficial, right? That's why you see so many hurting people because they figure that's easier than doing the work. Sad thing is, they're falling prey to an illusion. It's actually at least just the same amount of energy. Definitely not the same amount of reward, dare I say, life. But free will is very much a thing for all of us, okay? To play our part. Oh, see, you thought it was as simple as just turning it on versus off as to whether you are in karmic energy. Not always the case, right? That's why even in religious communities, even in so I'll speak my path. I was heavily in the religious community under the sect of Christianity, right? And it's why you hear and are taught scriptural references about God hardening the hearts of kings, and you know um, just the same as God having miraculous examples of utilizing uh, odd things to confound the wise, right? Speaking in parables. Because the long story short is you are here as a victor, not a victim, in spite of your being victimized, okay? And the long story short is the way that that is factual for you is just the same as the way that it is factual that you refract back unto source, back unto divinity, and royal divinity, mind you. God, goddess, all right? That essence, that energy, the entity, the creator, okay? Irregardless of the tag word, titles, names that you call it, when you refract it back onto that foundational source, it just is. And that's how we are freely able, by birthright even, to say affirmations like, I am that I am. And to know divinity backs you in that truth. Okay? So this person came in, effed you up a bit. Understatement. I know, I'm not making light of it. Okay? However, how empowered are you now, Victor? Right? Whether that's your name, okay, it's who you are. What's in a name, anyways? Could you just ever really kind of refract it back down to one? I feel like even if you tried to refract back divine energy and essence to one name, it probably wouldn't be a name at all. Because to name it would be restricting. Go figure. And this person did, chills on that, not making fun or, being a bully or a bull in a china shop here, but I'm reading the cards in the energy, and they did, throw you for a loop, F you up a bit, okay? Hopefully not always and simply and solely in the physical case, okay? But I'm seeing physical as well, okay? Depending on who I'm reading for, you take what resonates, okay? And you know what? I know I'm not lying because your spiritual guidance team here, when I say this person, there's someone here in particular out of the lot, okay, that really is trying to be highlighted as a monster of sorts, right? As far as karma goes, they don't even deserve the worst of it, okay? For some aspect or the amount and or types of offenses and the amount of times perhaps that they have offended you, caused you to ache, quiver, cry, all right, caused you to lack, right? And hearing especially the words that were shared about you behind your back. Okay. Somebody here was really, it's giving, maybe there is some iconic significance to the actress Julia Roberts, right? Maybe you favor her, maybe your names or Julia and or Roberts, doesn't have to be the case, right? But it's giving sleeping with the enemy vibes for somebody here. I don't like this. And this card says about this person that they really are a special type of. And I did not create this oracle, so trigger warning, heads up. I don't mean to be offensive. I'm going to spell out this word because, again, YouTube rules, right? But please know I don't normally, like me personally, I don't speak this way. But maybe somebody does, maybe somebody here does, or this person speaks this way, and I'm going to spell out the word. But the card really says, uh, regarding this person's energy, they really are a special type of FUCKTARD. All right. And your guidance here, honey bun, for you is to continue on with shining your uniqueness. Okay. You do not need to be restricted, the same as you are not here to restrict others. Okay. So you take from your experience what you ought to. Okay. And in order for you to do that, if we're talking prerequisites, right? If we're talking commands, that would be, again, quote, to shine your uniqueness. Now, why might that be pile number two? Well, because if you dim your light, you're in the dark, aren't you? Dealing with lower dense, demonic type of. I'm sorry, the word was FUCKTARD. Okay? You're done with that programming now, right? You've learned the lesson, right? You can move on. Maybe there's some significance of telling me to show this card. I don't know what the hell that is, but it's giving, yep, that's the sentiment, right? Your spiritual guidance team don't like this mofo for you, okay? And they're telling you on the other side of this guidance as well, with you shining your uniqueness, you're going to attract literally your soul tribe and more of them. Maybe you're saying, well, I know I got two or three. There's more, right? More than you have been bargaining for, more than you have perhaps even asked for, more than you have expected. And so that goes back to that sentiment that I always love to highlight about the divine. Whether you call them God, Goddess, source, universe, creator or not, right? The thing about it, okay, I don't even like to say he, she, really, how would you attach sexual gonads to energy, right? Sexual gonads has to be restricted to a meat suit. All right, I'm going through these because I want you to understand exactly how big you are. You are much more than your physical meat suit. And many of us know that especially those subscribe to being on the twin flame journey, right? You got even more than one of the meat suits at the same time. Wow, pretty neat, right? Big stuff, right? And so, of course, it's like, yeah, you found some of your soul tribe. Hello, hey, hi, right? And guess what? We're even growing here, okay? So, obviously, more soul tribe to come, all right? Something pleasant to look forward to. Wow. Balance your good, bad, and ugly, okay? Do the shadow work. Pile number 2. The shadow side, just like anything else, has its purpose. When I say purpose, please know that there is benefit in the purpose. Purpose ain't all about pain, right? There's just as much purpose in pleasure, quite often, okay? But you really do have to, Temperance angel energy is just kind of like swirling about here, saying it's here, use it, tap in, connect, ask, okay? Ask for the assistance, ask to feel balanced, right? And no drama llama coming out here talking about find your inner peace. If you can't find it, you guys, if you can't find your inner peace, I need you to know that it's definitely not on the outside of you. Okay? And if you're saying, well, I looked inside and I don't find any of it, it's because you didn't create it. I mean, you guys, you're big enough to do this. I'm not for everyone. If you found this channel, look at the numbers, right? I'm not here for everyone. If you found this channel, it's because you are capable of doing the work, all right? And you know what? Not going to lie to you. Usually, in order to get to this peace-filled temperance, balanced out, inner peace-filled self, you got to do the shadow work, babe. All right? I'm not getting pile number 2 that you guys have never set foot in shadow work land, right? But keep going. There's some aspects there that when you get a little bit deeper, when you get a little bit more honest, when you get a little bit more authentic, when you get a little bit more brave to face, right? There's more work, and that's okay. That's never a punishment to go, oh my God, I thought I fucking healed that already, right? It's okay, but I mean, if you healed everything, always and in all ways, right, nice, well and good the first time, you might be alive all of 7 minutes. What fun is that? I mean, it takes 9 months to even be able to try to attempt to go down the freaking birth canal. So you want to go through all that for 7 minutes? What kind of life is that? How did you get married and have 3.9 babies? Like, what are you talking? You got 2 pets? You're alive 7 minutes? You met the love of your life and you were alive 7 minutes? It doesn't make sense that way. All right? So no worries if you find that, oh man, right? I'm not done healing. Okay, me too, right? And so what of it? We're still right on schedule. We still have no over magnification or need to over magnify any kind of problem. You're just well underway in some coursework that you signed up to experience and navigate. Where is the problem? So be grace filled, you guys, right? Like they say, Rome wasn't built in a day. I don't care anywhere may or may no longer be on a map. Definitely wasn't built in a day. They don't even say God, took a day to build the earth. Okay, they at least gave that one 7 days. Just saying. And even then, had to rest. Go figure. So please don't be unmindful now that you've, really kind of cemented in there that you refract back onto source divinity energies. And I'm not even saying Marduk or simply and solely Yahweh, right? So serious, you guys. Do the research, all right? But all I'm saying is, even then, when we're talking about the heavy hitting, less, wait, hold on, the heavy hitting, more concentrated essence of that divine creator, right? Even then, there's rest needed. Okay? Even then, you'll find the uh, you know, how it's touted, the Godhead or Godheads, depending on who I'm speaking to, um, of the less fragmented aspects of Force. Okay, even then, you know, there is order needed. Okay, there's discipline. I mean, could you imagine trying to build anything, let alone the Earth or a planet, right? And not being disciplined? I mean, how would you get it done? you, maybe you'd have 17 planets you started, and then you half-assed through it, and then got bored and thought, oh no, I'll just create Pluto now. Who cares about if Mars turns red all the way or not, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, it would just be so much more mid here often, right? If divine, even in its fullness and Godhead aspect, right, was half-assing, was mid, was lacking confidence, was lacking discipline. Love and Light Nelia was lack focused. I hope this is hitting home for someone here, because it's coming through the channeling for someone. No Drama Llama, also talking about stay in your lane and dominate there, irregardless of the naysayers, irregardless of the gossipers and slanderers. All right, because your inner peace is often found when you are in your lane, dominating there, and outside of everyone else's karma. Okay, outside of everyone else's poor choices, right? Outside of everyone else's confusion, maybe even, right? Very, very important to be protective over your energy while you do this work, and just in general. Pile number 2. All right. Um, Now, this person is saying, I have lost all control of my life. I keep messing up. This is like literally when I got these cards, I was like, this is this person's higher self. How scary is that? Could you imagine if I gave you guys a reading and your higher self came through to be like, you're messing up your life? Like, could you imagine? This karma they think has hit. And I'm telling you, they didn't even get to see this dust or the smoke. Oh my God, they're probably smoking dust. Damn. But it hasn't even cleared yet. All right. They're saying, pile number 2, I have things going on in my life that require my full attention. I cannot listen to your voice. It affects my soul. Right? All right. Well, okay. So if you've lost all control of your life and you keep messing up, of course you're going to have a whole shit ton of things that you're going to have to put your full attention and forward focus on. And this person's already understanding or believing and or understanding and believing that they're not up for the challenge. How sad is that? This is why we talk about not everyone being literally able, capable even, to go where you're going. All right? And this is why it's very important to understand the art, if I say so myself, of detachment. Okay? Detachment doesn't mean I now am filled with hatred for you. Detachment very much means I love myself to protect myself from any more reoccurrences of any of the hate-filled, evil occurrences, TRAUMA, ABUSE, anymore. Okay? Does not equate to hate, does it? But you know what does equate to hate, collective? When you ignore the red flags, when you no longer lay claim to your rightly placed boundaries, when you no longer protect your energy, knowing damn well you're in charge to protect your energy, you're in charge to love yourself enough to protect your. See how it works? Self love is literally a lifestyle that is necessary to overcome things like TRAUMA, ABUSC. I cannot listen to your voice. It affects my soul, is because that too is part and parcel of their karma. Some of you could have platforms where you do share messages, where you do share your sentiment, where you are your authentic self, shining your uniqueness. And you know how chills on this, it's really well known, I'm sure, right? Your light irritates their demons. Well, you know what? This life, I already did say, is far more spiritual than you might realize, but what you might not realize about that aspect too is that everything, okay, is energy, yes, and energetic frequency. You have been well underway, all right, from point one till now, okay? Irregardless of how many incarnations you want to loop into that point one till now, because really, those that maybe don't know, you might want to check out that movie. It's probably still on Netflix, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Long story short, excuse me, somebody needs to actually cleanse their energy. And that was the other thing I forgot to mention. You've laid with this person, you cut the cord. Even if you've not laid with this person, you cut the cord. Because they will most assuredly use whatever cording, whatever energetic access that you allow. And a lot of people, quite unfortunately, allow access because of ignorance. Not in the sense of, hey, come in the door. Not even in the sense of, hey, I'm calling you. Not even in the sense of sending an email or a text. Just in the sense of leaving that door open. Because perhaps out of ignorance, but now that you know better. And literally, you guys, cutting the cord doesn't have to be some super duper ritual thing. It has to be very much an intention filled thing. And you would have to utilize your faith in the matter as well. Because what's the point of saying words? What's the point in, lighting a candle a certain color? What's the point in, searching out metaphysical properties of a certain crystal if on the other side of understanding the knowledge, on the other side of understanding what the tools are, how to not only identify but also use them, you don't believe? It's like, oh, I understand, I don't believe that. Well, then it won't work because you're telling universe that ain't for me. And okay, you have free will to do that, but don't be so quick to be filled with the lack, all right, mentality, such to the point where you're missing out on very bountiful, plentiful aspects of the path, which could be like utilizing tools of manifestation, which could be like utilizing your faith in the matter. All right, some people don't even know how to utilize their faith. Okay, that's not anyone here though. So make sure you live like it. Make sure you pray like it. Make sure you manifest like it, because you do now. And you are capable. And you are divinity. And you do refract back onto source. You saw the light? Flickered. That wasn't a candle. That was a synchronicity. Okay? This person saying, I cannot give you what you want or deserve. I'm sorry. Quite frankly, collective, I feel like oracle cards often can be quite restricting in certain degrees, measures, and forms, and I'm not getting an I'm sorry from this individual energetically. Energy don't lie, people do. I feel unworthy of having love in my life. Oh, well, that sounds more truth-filled. Sadly, for them, because they're missing out on somebody really great. Okay? Literally an earth angel, somebody on the great side of karma, somebody who is a walking miracle, somebody who is beautiful inside and out, outside and in, somebody who is handsome, somebody who is worthy, somebody who is generous, somebody who is a prize. Shows on that. And you know what? In current energies, even before full effects of karma, I need you to know this person saying, I feel miserable and lost. Oh well, too damn bad. I am seeing someone, but I am not ready for you to know about them yet. Some of you. I'm getting this is a smaller majority for pound number 2. But some of you maybe even know that this person has had somebody that they kind of, I'm going to sneeze. I'm going to sneeze. Hold on one second. Oh, I'm hitting buttons all over. Sorry, you guys. Showing the bookshelf. Anyways, somebody here knows that this person has had a propensity to go back and forth between a particular somebody, one or two particular somebodies other than you, and that's still very much at play. And they're saying, I pushed you away because I do not want the responsibility. That is why you cut the cord, okay? If nothing else. This is the most blatant statement while still maintaining the truth of the matter. And I'm not trying to be rude or mean or harsh to anyone here, especially those resonating with this, okay? I very much can empathize with this. Been there, done that, okay? I mean, not in the sense of, I was on the receiving end, of course, not, you know, but this person knows they're not up for the challenge. They also know karmically, even though they have no idea that karma did not all the way hit the fan, like was not all the way served, okay? They do know that they have received chills on this, karmic repercussions on the strength of what they put you through, what they said to you, and then did to you or didn't do, didn't say, okay? They know that you are somebody of value to unseen forces. Which is really amazing because the karma did not really. They're not ready. They're not ready. But they damn sure can't give you what you need. Ain't looking to give you what you deserve because they can't. And that's okay. Okay? It literally has to be okay because you cannot insist that even the divine, you know, for any reasoning, should shove a square peg into a round hole and make it make sense. The divine is the ultimate strategist anyway. So please believe, even if you felt even just a little bit like but they could, because they could, right? They could shove that square peg into anything they want, right? But should they? Just like when we are asked to ask ourselves in our essence of divinity, just because I can, should I? Right? Okay? So, if and when you find the divine not shoving that square peg into the round hole for you, detach, because you've got to know that the divine is the ultimate strategist. Okay? We're not here to, nor are we capable of knowing all things, always, and in all ways. If we were, there would be no talk of things like the veil, right? When we come here, we got to remember. I say remember because it's not even the first time we've remembered. Again, going back to that everything, everywhere, all at once kind of vibes, right? And even if you can't get your head around that, at least you've heard of past lives, right? Just say. So, when you can make sense of these things, you guys, it's easier to become a little less emotionally overtaken. Keyword there, overtaken, not emotional, okay, or emotionally. The reason why I say that is because when you feel through emotions, you're going to kind of breeze through them a lot faster. All right. So the goal is never really to not feel. The goal is to understand, in spite of what you feel, okay, that you are in charge. In spite of what you feel, you are divinely supported and backed, right? In spite of what you feel, and in spite of your feelings being very valid in the moment, regardless of how truth filled they are, okay? Because sometimes we're feeling feelings because people are in them spiritual streets going pew, 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 pew. It's like, oh, I see you moving and a shaking. Pew! I want you back here with me. Pew, pew, right? Oh well, because when you learn these cheat codes and you understand your worth and you add your tax and you refuse to lie down and be a doormat ever again, kind of thing, right? It just can't be a thing because you're in charge. See, I hope somebody's getting this. I really do hope somebody's getting this. All right. Okay, so the bell is rung, and I'm really thinking we've spent enough on pile number 2. You already know who this person is. If this is your pile, I'm not going to go and, overtask myself at proving the obvious to whom all ever I just read for, because I'm being granted the pass. I'm not going to do the names and chart plate. Pile number 2, that is such a specific situation, right? That you already get it. So I feel like you're good on that. We're going to move on to pile number 3 if no one else has any questions. And if any of this is resonating, you're having a great time, and you do have the heart and mind and the ability to do it, okay? Please don't forget we've got the super chat. Don't forget there's a description box, all right, that allows whole host of ways for you to donate to the channel, to tip your girl, right? And also to book a personal reading, right? Maybe I'm affording you some clarity right now. Cool, cool, cool. But, right? Do you need some more? Do you need some more guidance? All right. I am not just a tarot reader, in case you didn't know. Okay. So there's a lot of my spiritual giftings and abilities and the ways that I can open a channel to give more specific guidance for your specific connection. Because be mindful, from one part to the next, still general collective reading. All right. So there's that. But no pressure, because you know what? Just the same as you are, I am blessed. Irregardless. No worries. Okay. But let me see if we've got anybody waiting in the queue for their free yes no according to the live stream rules. Okay. I see Nelia. Thanks for waiting here, honey bun. Love and light. Welcome. Let's see about Dave. Ooh. All right, let's see. Dave. Literally might get a romantic proposal on the strength of what all went down tonight, okay? I need you to know the reason why I say this too is because I was guided to this deck. Spirit highlighted it. As it was highlighted, I saw this in my third eye, or mind's eye, you might say. But I like to use the cards for confirmation and to talk about them with you guys as that happens, because and I just looked at the, it came out again. I just saw, what am I trying to get out? Oh my gosh, the Ace of Swords, right? I was struggling because I kept wanting to say Michael, so maybe the name is of some significance. Doesn't have to be, but Archangel Michael is definitely connecting to the Ace of Swords, which I'm not gonna lie to you, I put it right back in the deck. But interestingly enough, your romantic proposal came back out. Okay, double the energy, and the moon card at the bottom of the deck. On the other side of the moon card at the bottom of the deck, the Nine of Wands. Okay, now, so that's talking about courage. All right, if this romantic offer doesn't come in 11 minutes, all right, just give the guy a moment. Okay, as I say that, I'm looking at the Page of Cups. All right, so the possibility for this good news, this offer, is definitely very much underway, is very much in existence, and sooner rather than later. Okay, so what you want to do, if this is a connection that you actually want to get off the ground and keep off the ground, what you would want to do is attract it in, not chase it. Okay, so what that means is you doing you, living your best life, but not in the sense of like ignoring this person and being all like detached, but in the sense of you enjoying your company, you looking at you in the mirror and not grimacing, right? Smiling, loving, engaging towards self, okay? Such to the point where you attract in this person to join you in that type of energy, all right? And of course, when they do. You will be loving them just the same, or, you know, enjoying them, experiencing them in this romantic way just the same, of course. So there's no worry there either for any kind of unrequited situationship. Okay, now this is not something that you really want. I question why you would have asked a question, really, but just saying. Okay, so congratulations, because it's giving. Okay. All right, Nelia, love and light. Um, you're gonna eat a lemon. You're so funny, Fiona. Ay, ay, ay. I don't know that I've ever craved to do that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't hate lemon though, right? And like I do often drink lemon juice, like literally like squeeze lemon juice. So it's not that, but I don't know, I never really I never really thought to sit there and just like chew at it. Like, thank you, Nelia. I really appreciate you. You know what? Thank you. That really, you know, that's healing, because there's been many times where I've offered my services, just saying my advice, my care and concern, just saying, and was not met with that same sentiment. So I really do appreciate you guys when you do connect and enjoy the energy as well as the guidance, because that's my intention. All right. Can't tell you guys that I'll never trigger you, but I can tell you that if and when I do, it's purposeful, not necessarily intentional on my part, but it's purposeful for you to see kind of some of the next steps that you should kind of really be excited to work on, whether it's shadow work, whether it's inner child healing or not. All right. Because it means you've already done so much work, and to keep to not keep going would be to your detriment, right? You're here to get everything you came to experience in this life, inclusive of love, you guys, right? And I'm here very much to, and at least it's my intent, to assist you into all of that, right? To guide you. But, you know, we do have to talk about some of the harsher things every now and again. I'm not unmindful, but I do try to keep it as lighthearted as I possibly can, you guys. Unless, you know, as spirit leads, of course, because sometimes I do have to be like, listen, this is coming through like a command kind of thing. But I promise I'm the messenger. No judgment, only love and light, you guys. I wouldn't even want the karma, right? So, pile number 3, we're going to get into and drive this sucker home, okay? Could be some significance to that. Maybe this person does end up driving you home from a pretty cool uh, event or engagement or outing, or meet up of sorts. Okay, so we're looking at PAL 3, let's say 22644, we'll say. All right, now somebody here, whether this is your person or collective, um, you could be young in the general generic sense of young, right? But it also came out that you could have a baby face. Somebody here could be very young and also have a baby face, or somebody here could have a baby face, and because of that, regardless of your age, appear very young or appear younger. You know, you could be somebody that has been told something to the effect of, or your person, that you have or will age or have aged like fine wine, as it were, right? Somebody here could be bald, Hispanic, and or Latino. Somebody here could be albino and or have blue eyes. I feel like if you're albino, you probably don't have the blue eyes though, right? So I said and or. That still checks out. Um, or you could have, or you could be an albino with some blue-eyed contact lenses. That'd be cool. All right, somebody here could have a sharp face and another S word, short, coming out. Whether you wear short shorts or you just are a shorty. All right. Maybe somebody calls somebody that, shorty. What's up, shorty? Shorty, right? Somebody here could wear red lips and or glasses. All right, so there's that for the archetypes. Now this pile was kind of giving high key single vibes. Not to out you, not to trigger anybody, but you know what you got going on, what maybe you don't. I get it on a personal note. Just hang in there. All right, we got this. Okay, so um this pile, not so much tarot. I don't know if we'll get into it. I do have a deck handy somewhere if need be. But who I'm speaking to for pile number 3 is giving the divine feminine energy. Energy, not necessarily meat suit, but I do have to again reiterate, it was highlighted. It's giving 8 times out of 10, you're literally a physical female and also identifying as a feminine energy. To be clear, just saying. And my nose is doing that thing. So, all right. Um, Now, speaking of doing the work, congratulations, kudos, and thank you. I say thank you because we all are connected. So whatever work you do assists you, your peoples, yes, but also the collective, which are also your peoples. See how you have way more soul tribe to find? Okay. So share a video from the channel, would you? No, let me stop. Um, but thank you for those that do assist us growing here to get more free tarot messages and guidance, all right, to beautiful souls like yourselves, all right? There's a lot of people out there that could benefit from a lot of the things that we do and are and talk about. All right. So thank you for assisting with the mission. But along with assisting the channel with its mission, along with assisting your girl love, okay, you are assisting love to be some aspect of magnification or some magnified aspect of love on your path, might be more aptly stated. And not even just love in the sense of see how you have love because you are love, because you are loving and lovable, but in the sense of commitment. Okay. Now, this refracts back to, though, you being committed to understanding what makes you tick, who you are versus who you are not, what you want versus what you don't want. How do you love? And so, what does that mean regarding love for you in your life, regarding candidates for those who may be worthy and or capable to love you? Okay, and we have to talk about it because gosh, we just got done through pile number 2, right? Pile number 2 is people, not to be funny, not to be triggering, they're not capable of loving. It's really important to understand that. Some people even meaning to love you and actively loving you in their ways, in their forms, means, and measures may not amount to your purity in love, your aspect of discipline in love, because really, love is a choice, right? It's not just a feeling. Sometimes services are part and parcel of choosing to, you get where I'm going with this, right? The sacred woman came out as far as manifestation. All right, so we are talking about a divine feminine energy tapping into a committed aspect of self love to then attract in an actual committed lover. All right. And really honoring that divinity. Okay. The anointing, you might even say, that you carry. Um, you understanding you have been chosen by your ancestors at this to really kind of bring home some of the lessons, as it were, that you are still very much underway and gathering up throughout this incarnation, which is fine. It's not saying you're late. It's not saying you're not capable. It's not saying you're slow at doing anything you're coming here to do. I mean, first of all, you've already made it. So, congratulations, you've already won. Seriously, it's that simple. The world won't tell you that, though, and it may not feel like that at all a lot of the time. But that is the truth of the matter. And with this manifestation card coming out here as well, okay, with knowing that you've been doing the work, gosh, of course your manifestations are well underway. There could be some significance to fire. You could be utilizing fire as a tool of manifestation, or really, more aptly stated, a tool to assist you with meditation. chivalry, or you could be a fire sign too. Sorry, chivalry coming out with this gardener. In comes the love of your life, honey. Just wait. I know you don't know them now necessarily. I know you're single AF right now. I know. Okay? But they're coming. And right now, you are focusing on aspects of understanding your spiritual nature, your spiritual origins, as well as your sexual nature. And what I mean by that is not even necessarily sexual preference, chills on this, but in the ways that you offer yourselves and operate yourselves sexually, from self to self, as well as self to others. And that is also part and parcel of manifestation vibes, okay? Some of you are intending to do this, and others are just now learning about, you know, the big O being part and parcel of an assistant towards manifesting, you know, what you'd like to experience more of or at all, okay? Some of you, as far as you know, doing some of this work, are putting yourselves out there, you know, maybe where moon cycles past you haven't, you know. And you know, I kind of feel that urge and pull to you guys at times, because it's like, you know, you've done so much work, you've got so much love, right? You got so much vitality, you know, you have licked a lot of your proverbial and physical wounds, right? And it feels good to be in that new skin. It feels great to be in that new earth consciousness, right? And you know, it's kind of like, you know, for those in physical feminine suits, feminine meat suits, avatars, right? It's kind of like how, like, you're just ready to birth the baby, or you're ready to you know, nest, to make it, you know, kind of like a sealing in the juices, that like you literally are the mother, right? You're the mother before the baby comes out, right? Like, you don't have to wait until the baby comes out to be like, I'm a mom. Just saying, right? A lot of people don't really tell it that way, do they? There's reasons for that. But compatibility and yin and yang coming out, you better believe. What did I already say through the channeling? This is the love of your life. All right, we're giving commitment, loyalty, you know, it's giving courtship, okay? And we've got this distorted feminine energy with reparenting yourself coming out with these cards. This is indicating the current energies, that not only are you essentially, you know, honoring the sacred, um, divine forces that back you, but that are also within you and upon you, that have also chosen you, and that also you refract back unto. And this is what it's meant by often our ancestors really being other versions of ourselves, or how you might say you are just heavily connected to them because cut from the same cloth kind of thing. Remember, going back to that Bob's reference, okay? You can really kind of apply some of that theory, okay, um, to the guides, okay? Just the same as divinity, all right? And so you have been well underway at really working on that sacral root, and I'm hearing solar plexus as well. I wasn't going to say the solar plexus, but yeah, it makes sense too. Chakras, and holding up your boundaries, okay? And really just aligning yourselves energetically, emotionally, and spiritually. Again, getting ready to birth this new life, you know, this newfound freedom, even in love, okay? And man, you're just unstoppable. On the other side of you understanding how to make amends, kind of thing, with the distorted feminine, to be clear, this is the feminine energy within. This is not talking about, you know, some sister reviewers that's karmic, or some aunt that just never liked you and you didn't understand why. You know, it's to be clear, this is really heavy hitting shadow work, spiritual ascension, right? As well as manifestation, okay? And of course, you're here for love. You're here to be loved because you are here as love and you love. So, of course, you shall get what you came here for, unless you believe otherwise, and then you're kind of telling yourself that you're rewriting that story, that fate for you. And you're telling the universe simultaneously because you are connected and refract back onto it. You are of it. Makes sense? Okay? So be mindful of things like that when being challenged about, hey, does divinity back you? Like, oh, you think you're on the good side of karma? Oh, like, oh, you think you're good? Right? And it's like, well, who are you to say that divine, its right role, strategy, and agenda, its existence is anything less than the magnificence that it is? Because if you should attempt to do that, then you're actually intending to really kind of crap on the divine. You want to do that? Like, why would you when you're of it, even? This is make it make sense. Okay, just saying. All right, so when you are I don't know, the word fighting comes to mind. When you are fighting through the what ifs, when you are fighting through the triggers, when you are met with naysayers, all right, it's really important to have already done this work, right? Where you know, no, wait, hold on, because I reflect back on that, like, there's no severability, and I don't want to say that, what you're saying about the divine, just because you think it's okay, because you have my name in your mouth. Knowing when you know that you refract back onto divinity, and divinity in some way, shape, or form and measure had a part in naming you, even though you're not your name now. To be clear, you're not just your name, you're not just your meat suit, you're not even just your twin, right? You're not even just your ancestors. See how big you are? So how unstoppable are you? Well, quite stoppable if you believe that you are, because you're utilizing the power, the life force, energy behind all aspects of divinity that backs you and that you exist as, which is like huge. That's a lot of power, a lot of pressure to put towards any one ideation or truth or feeling. And I'm putting air quotes behind some of these words because sometimes feelings aren't even our own. Sometimes they are not even from us. How would you know if you didn't study to show yourself approved, though? Which goes into doing the shadow work. Therein, when you do shadow work, and look it up, Google it, check out Christina Lopes, Lopes is her last name spelling. It's Christina with the C, right? On YouTube. I don't know her. Her content is voluminous. She is very learned. She's licensed in certain aspects of, mental health. Has worked with children, etc. And I'm telling you, there's ways to educate yourself about some of these things that maybe you've not heard before, like shadow work, or you've heard it, you never really delved in deep. Now would be the time, okay? Unless you don't want the highest vibrational outcome um, that exists for you in this timeline, in this incarnation. And really, it does exist. You may not see it or know it as true if you don't do the work to align yourselves energetically to it. And that's the issue, and that's your part to play in it. And that goes back to, if you are looking for peace, happiness, joy, anything you are looking for outside of you first, and it's safe to say that, hear me out, because outside of you, right, wouldn't even connect, hear me out, outside of you wouldn't even necessarily connect directly to divinity. So it still isn't like a shortcut to look outside of yourself, even when connecting with divinity in your intention, in your mental processes, in your prayer life. You understand? I hope somebody's getting this. All right? It's big stuff. All right? But you are big here, and you are always big, regardless of whether or not you can see or maintain that viewpoint. That's why we talk about these things, because Now imagine you're thinking you're small, and that is your believable truth, even though I'm putting air quotes with the truth because it's not the truth of the matter. The truth of the matter is you are here as a victor, not a victim. The truth of the matter is you are here as divinity. The truth of the matter is you have a birthright, all right, which speaks of abundance, all right, and many, many more great things. We talk about it a lot. Check out another channel, excuse me, check out another video on the channel, and I'm sure you will get just another definition of just that, okay? That's how often we talk about it. And because of the late hour, I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole. Forgive me, okay? But you know, we've all got to get to bed. We've all got to rest. So, do you have an issue with anything that you hear through the channeling, through the channel, all right, and you're doing your own work, okay, to study to show yourself approved, you've done the research, and you need clarity, and you need maybe even like resources for online to ferret through to get more clarity, hit your girl up, all right? You just got to check the description box. No worries, all right? But here's the sitch for pile number 3, just to drive it home, okay? Spirit wants you to know a few things, okay? The first of which is your soul actually thrives on silence. Now, hear me out. I know many of us are, how you say, neurospicy, okay? We've got our preferences in sound and sensory, okay? So, take with this what you will, but get something out of this because there's something in here for you, okay? You just maybe can't take it quite in the literal sense. But hear me out. From deep inside, you receive your most certain guidance and instruction. And what have I been saying to you, pile number 3? If you're looking outside of you first, it's really just, it's, you know, it's not necessarily the safest bet there, okay? In silence, you are without distractions. And so I get it, you maybe can't hear that deafening silence all the way. But there is something here regarding you needing to focus more heavily on the heavenly things, more focus more focus heavily on, you know, who you are spiritually, and not just simply in the physical, not just simply in social stature or demographic, you know, location type of ramifications. Okay, so in silence, you're without distractions. And this is why often silence is feared. Okay, because often people fear power. See, when you chills on this, I couldn't even get it out. Okay, even if you can't make sense of the silence, hear me out. Let's plug in a different word. People can fear knowledge because knowledge is power. All right, you get it now? All right, so enjoy quiet meditation and enjoy it often. All right, enjoy whatever works for you, different strokes for different folks, to get you to that meditative state often, okay, so that you can operate out of your place of power with greater ease and less uncertainty, okay? So you stay built up in your faith, you stay disciplined in your understanding that you are unstoppable, that you have won, you are the winner, you are victory, okay? It's how you got here in the first place, to be clear. You're not here set up for some punishment plan because you already missed the mark before you got here. Just saying. All right. Now, how much of your precious day do you invest in the past? I get it. Easy to do when you've got nobody in your face talking about, we could do stuff now. I want to love you down now. I'm going to pleasantly distract you now. But see, there's a reason for that. There's a purpose there too. Because again, you've got to do some of the work here in aspects of furthering your healing. Now, again, not a doom and gloom, not a prerequisite to heal up 1,010%. Gosh, I don't know if that's even a thing in this realm. It's way too emotional of a realm, a lot of triggering, a lot of TRAUM, A, and a lot of ABUSE going on. Remember, we talked about why those things also are purposeful as well. Make sense? Okay. Now, everything from your past except wisdom and love has long since served its purpose. Let it go. Let them go. Okay? Not a call to hate. Okay? It's just no longer a call to wait for them to appreciate what maybe they can't about you. Maybe they refuse to about you. All right? Um, Instead, witness what calls to you from yesterday and why. Okay? So, like in the realm of love, right? It's easy to think back on the previous lover or lovers. Oh, we could have had it all. Like, just why did they say that when they text that? What did they mean? At the end, no, you've got to get to the point of what is the purpose of all of this? Why are we turning back around? What are we wanting, desiring, right? And you may say, well, duh, I want Roger to just like get his head out of his ass and come back. And it's like, okay, but at some point, all right, it's been month after month, maybe even year after year, and you're talking about Roger having his head somewhere, and Roger has moved on. Roger has even had 2 wives since then, perhaps, right? And it's like at this point, you've got to check where your head is, and not in the sense of being mean to yourself, but how nice and how loving is it to allow yourself to remain unchecked and in that waiting room year after year. Talking about Roger, it'll happen. It'll happen. And next thing you know, you're not living your life at all. Like I could get it, maybe, if it's like, like people, if the twin flame journey is not for the faint of heart, right? So it's like twin flame comes to mind. It's like, okay, year after year, they're just living their best life with the placeholder, with the karmic, with whatever they've chosen to get into and be entangled and enmeshed with whatever they've chosen to not heal out of, with whatever they've chosen to ignore. And so what of it, right? Because how is it loving to you to be like, okay, but that's my twin, so there's just no one else out there for me, right? I'm sorry, but you know how many people you are really heavily connected to? I mean, we call them tribes for a reason. Usually a tribe isn't like 1.5 members, just saying, right? And so twin flame or not, you still got connectivity and you still got love, you still got divinity, you still got you still got the good karma. And so out of all of that, you should be able to make or allow and align with a high vibrational outcome. Maybe not the one you were intended, maybe not the one that was contracted to be the first outcome, the end game outcome, all right? But, there's a lot of variables when you got a lot of mofos with free will. That's just part and parcel of divine right, role, and agenda. See how that works, right? So it's okay to live your best life, understanding that, oh, I have a twin flame out there. What's not okay is to be like, I have a twin flame out there, I can't live. I'm sorry, wait, what? Because I'm sure that wasn't even part of the original contract that you signed. You know what I mean? Like, make it make sense. We're not here for punishment. We're not. Okay? If anything, we are here as power, taking back even more power. Where is the punishment in that? All right? And you're not going to do any of that love less. How would you be by divine, hold on, to be clear, by divine right, role, and agenda? okay? Here as some really important cog in the wheel of, you know, anything that is part and parcel of divine right, rule, and agenda, okay? And be some sort of token for, you know, having signed up to be the person that is highlighted as undergoing punishment. And then we're all here undergoing punishment, being highlighted as undergoing punishment. No, check your birthright package, and there's no punishment there. All right, there's pleasure, there's peace. Those are some other P words, right? There's prophecy. You are the prophecy, right? Just like you are love, just like you are the light. Okay, just like you are that temperance angel, just like you are that earth angel, just like you are on the good side of karma. Okay, let it be the truth, because it is the truth of the matter, regardless of whether you want to lay claim to it or not. That's why we also talk about the spiritual laws and principles, because same deal there. You can lay claim to knowing that they are a thing. You can lay claim to believing in them or not, and they just, irregardless, are. We talk about them not to make them true. We talk about them so that we work through them properly, and that we don't have to undergo any more harsher conditions than may already be necessary, because then to do so would be to punish ourselves. Okay? We're not here for that. We're royalty, divinity. We are having a human like experience. We are not restricted into whatever and whatever humanity can mean to some or all of us. Because to do so would be quite restrictive, just like it's quite restrictive to understand that you reflect back under divinity and still think you're just your body, still think you're just your uh, name or uh, title, you know, at work. Okay? So please know who you are, all right? At least know the weight and the power with which you carry. Of course, I'm not talking about physical meat suit scale. The weight spiritually. Okay, there is such a thing as spiritual wealth, you guys. You've got it. Whether you have understanding and awareness of it, it exists for you. It exists within you. And same deal with the guidance of some of the things that you may be outside of the guidance perceived as lacking. Okay? You've got to allow for yourselves to align with it. And it starts with believability. Okay? And it also entails that you make space for it. Okay? Sometimes that means making time. Sometimes that means saying the affirmations. Sometimes that means silence. Okay? Now, there's something coming about illness here. Let me see the front of this card. Speaking of punishment, okay? Whoever's resonating with pile number 3, you have been going through some health things. All right, I don't want to... I'm trying to watch my words here because I don't want to, I firstly don't want to make, mountains out of molehills. But I also am mindful this is a general collective. And I don't want to even indirectly and or unintentionally project anything onto anyone. So please, you know what we're talking about here. If you resonate with it, if you don't resonate with this aspect of the reading, but you resonate with the rest of pile 3, okay. All right, I'm not here saying everybody got something physically or otherwise. I'm not, okay? But it's coming through. Actually, I think this is one of the first cards out of this particular oracle deck, interestingly enough, but we're just now getting to it. So it is, okay? Illness is not a punishment, but a stimulant to life, okay? 42 could be a number of some significance, but interestingly enough, it does reduce down to 6, and 6s do talk about balance, all right? Illness can be a teacher, companion, or challenge, but not a punishment. Still, sometimes its message isn't clear. Ignore the illness. Look for the stimulation in the knowledge that you can heal in an instant. All right, so this is for whoever is resonating with this on a, not to be like funny, but like on a physical sense, okay? This is not a punishment, right? Like the card said, but this is an experience for you to understand part and parcel of aspects of your capability. I turn right to it, to manifest. Now, how would you know that you could manifest health, or maybe even more aptly stated, how would you know that you could manifest or command away symptoms of a seemingly ill situation or illness? Okay. If you didn't have the chance, if you didn't have the catalyst, the trigger, the TRAUMA, all right? And really, I'm not talking about like you have to have, trauma in the body in order to have an illness, right? But in the sense of, many aspects of TRAUMA, if left unhealed, okay, if festering into, okay, because PTSD, and there are multiple kinds of PTSD, okay, but that does come to mind. How would you know your capabilities without having the chance or the reasoning to find to find and identify them, let alone use them? Okay, so this is not punishment, but this is about empowerment. This is about blessing, and this is about experience. And you may say, I could have done without that. Um, but again, going back to the ultimate strategist being the divine, and the divine is not rocking with the same type of veil energy we're climbing out of. All right, I'm saying climbing out of because, again, general collective message. We're all somewhere on the path, okay? There might be slight differences, every now and then from one collective member to the next. So take what resonates here, okay? But again, not a punishment. And about this person coming to you, all right? Because again, you're single, looking for love. One second, because I want to find this. Not only do we have, excuse me, collective. Not only do we have the compatibility card, the yin and yang card coming out regarding this person, excuse me, but we've got, again, the love and commitment cards, all right? All of this with a very healing energy of 4. Okay, these 4 cards in particular I'm also mindful of, which is so synchronistic. Just saying. The affect and intent of this person when you meet them. I'm not getting that you necessarily know them right now, you guys. Just saying. But pulling from their higher selves / Akashic, long story short, this person is going to, we already talked about loyalty. I need you to know that was not just something said because it's like what we all like crave and deserve, of course, right? Especially in love, loving connections. I need you to know this person is literally going to be the epitome of that loyal. Like anytime you see this person depicted in Oracle Land from this point on, you're going to know because they're going to be a dog. And not in the sense of, oh my gosh, not another one, right? But in the sense of loyalty, like literally respect, literally, acts of service, and not in the sense of like, oh, this is my yes man type of thing or yes woman, but in the sense of what a true, meaningful, loving connection looks like, sounds like, feels like, and will be backed up with evidence of this person's loyalty unto you and the connection. All right. This person will have the sentiment. I have to say it this way because it's not like you met them, you know, what they would, even how they would say this, right? But the cards coming out here uh, indicate no matter what happens, you will always be special to me. And there's an exclamation point at the end, right? There's a lot of emphasis here. All right, pulling for this person's high heart, okay? I want to offer you an exclusive, committed relationship, and I will do all I can to make us happy. Very supportive. This is not an unrequited love. This is not, the carrot dangling before you to then ultimately be just another bone of contention or a source of disappointment. So serious, okay? Now, um, this person really will be like in love with you and really will love you, okay? Literally to the moon and back, they're saying, okay? This person is going to allow you to maintain your sense of hope about love, about loving connections and relationships, as well as commitment. This person is going to be supportive of you, and you will be supportive of them. Again, not unrequited. One moment here. Oh my gosh, I don't know if it's the channeling or if all of a sudden allergies or what, but my nose is just like I'm like trying to like breathe. Bear with. I don't know what the hell. All right, anyways. So, what I really loved about this person too is they're coming through humble. Not the type to be like, "But I did this for you." Like, why are you acting like that? Like, why? What do you mean? Like, I sent you flowers. Like, well, what do you mean? Well, I paid this bill. Like, you shouldn't expect much more. Like this person is really like in it to win it. Um, and you know what? Even if you're a man and you're sitting here going, "Well, I'm single. I'm looking for love," and let's say you're heterosexual, so you're looking um, for a female, I need you to know both the cards for the guy version, excuse me, as well as the girl version came out really indicating that this person, whoever the heck they are, they're going to really think like you're the perfect one for them. And you know what? I'll go out on a limb and say because both of the like counterpart sexes there came out, the sentiment will be shared. I mean, I know you can't understand that right now, but like this makes me happy for you. I mean, I'm believing, okay? Like this is literally a thing that exists for you. The only way you wouldn't be able to see it, collective, is if you just decided that you didn't want to, and or that it probably wouldn't be a thing for you, right? Like in the sense of you just believing that it's not a thing. And that is something that is potentially powerfully detrimental. That's why we're talking about it, because you do have the choice whether or not to believe or to not believe, or to believe a certain way versus another. And so the choice really is yours, but please don't be the one that goes, well, I'm not making the choice to believe or not believe, and also simultaneously goes, I hate it here, I hate everything I'm seeing. Like, because that's a you to you problem. At that point, that's not even a you to divinity problem, that's a you to you problem, because divinity is backing you the whole time. But then you've got to question, are you always believing in the backing, and or are you always connecting to the backing, the spiritual support, the source? All right. Often when we are feeling separate, okay, it's because we are believing we are, because perhaps you've done something that wasn't the highest vibrational thing to do. We've all been there. Divine understands, right? You know, it's not a prerequisite to go ham and just do whatever the heck you want and to hurt people and be that hurt person hurting people. Haven't you already done that anyways? Right? How high vibrational of a timeline was that? You moved on. We're in New Earth now, which again is conscious based, not from hopping from one rock or one planet to the next, right? See how powerful you are to have already made it here? Of course, you've already won. Just keep going, okay? To be clear. But this person, you could meet in the next air sign season, whatever the heck that is, right? At this point, I'm thinking, I don't even know what date is, so forgive me. And somebody here could be vegetarian. You could know this person, like, oh, this might be the one. If you meet this person and they're like, oh, I actually don't eat meat, just saying. Or this could be about you, understanding you already are taking steps to be vegetarian, or already are a vegetarian. Okay. And if the air sign season isn't something that resonates, how about a year from now? Because that's when your first kiss could be. So again, you're really not, it's giving you're not knowing this person. Okay. I already picked that up energetically, but even the way these cards are coming out too, it's kind of coinciding with, you know, someone really new, not somebody in your midst that you just have yet to strike up a chord with, kind of thing. It's giving you don't currently have physical access to them. You don't currently in current energies, whenever you find this message, necessarily have even met them, let alone laid eyes on them. Okay? And this person could actually speak more than one language and fluently, right? So that's pretty neat. Um, but you guys, this is not a doom and gloom sentence, or excuse me, message saying, you know, you've been sentenced to a loveless life. So please don't allow for that to even pretend to become your truth, okay? Because, you know, you don't want to play dummy games, guys, right? Um, if you want to work with any form of delusion, go with the ones that work for you and the ones that, you know, like give to you instead of robbing you blind. All right. Um, so that's what I have finally for pile number 3. Last call, you guys, for anyone who's still possibly eligible for free yes no. I want to say thank you so much for hanging out. You guys really did a wonderful job at creating a safe space for each other, myself included, to share and kind of just kind of like soak in each other's presence and get the good vibe tribe going. And for any newbies tonight, I'm really excited to know and work with you in furtherance of what we've even begun tonight, of course, right? And you guys, don't forget, new moon is really around the corner. Fiona, you're the only one left. Oh, I don't know. I think I don't know. I'm showing we've got at least 6 in here. Love and light, Jay. You got a question, babe? I was talking about you earlier. It was like you were already here. How's the pregnancy going? Oh my goodness. You know what? It's funny because like I learned to just ask like from one day to the next for those that I do know like you know are actively pregnant, because man, from one moment to the next, right? Like there could be differences, just like with the ships of energy, anyways, right? Makes sense. So I hope you don't mind me asking. I know we did just talk. Um, okay, what's the loss? Okay, what's the loss yesterday, Divine? Okay, let's see here. All right. Man, I'm looking at the tower. Wow. Okay. So I do see that the tower energy was in recent energetic past here. All right. So not exactly sure what this is regarding, but as far as clarity's sake, you've got a yes. Okay, the sun card, yeah, it's the happiest card in the deck, but this also talks about clarity, right? So this is also simultaneously talking about your clarity, is your intuition is, excuse me, spot on. Don't mind me. I don't know what. I'm like, is this. I think at this point, this could be my own energy and not somebody else's. But if you have been feeling like you've got the bubble guts, if you have been, and this is not just Jay, like anyone on the live, or anyone listening to this after the fact, right? Uh, if you've been having like symptoms of like digestion issues, okay, you might want to do whatever you already know that works for you on a personal note to cleanse your energy. Some of you, it could be as simple as smudging. Others of you, it could be also like certain juices that you know assist with detoxification in the body. um, Depending on why you may need to cleanse, like if you know you've been, partaking of other people's energies, cut the cords. It does not harm them, right? But it would potentially be harmful if you didn't, because as long as that cord is there, all right, whether you have awareness of it or not, to be clear, there is the access, and therein lies the propensity for whoever's on the other end of that cord to manipulate intentionally, and or here's the kicker, unintentionally. All right, so you want to be protective of your energy, Jay, and anyone else making sense of that, right? And here's the sitch. I see like whatever like aspects of angst, whatever stress, whatever sacrifice, um with this clarity and the Ten of Swords coming out in the reverse, it's giving, please know that whatever sacrifice, whatever loss, okay, you are already karmically rewarded for that, whether you can currently see the fruit of that just yet or not. And it's giving almost like the energy of a promise from divine to you, that right will be made. Okay, not necessarily in the sense that you will retrieve the exact thing or person, or you know what I'm saying, but whatever the loss is, it's going to be, you know how like we always talk about hindsight is like 2020. It's like where you are right now, Jay, like with your spiritual abilities, and the way that you have continued on allowing your skills to be honed. You're well underway at doing that. Continue to trust your intuition, because I do see some aspected, shoot, that baby, probably just the baby alone, the baby alone. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Oh, one second. Okay. Yep. Okay. Uh, so long story short, which is kind of giving duh, but like, um, the baby, this particular child, definitely is of some sort of soulmate significance to you, and somehow I don't know if the chills on that somehow, and I don't know if it's um, overcoming bloodline issues. I want to say it like tongue in cheek, kind of, because long story short, uh, this got really deep, but your bloodline, and the way I would say it is, has already been altered and changed over its course, over its origin. And I don't know if you're part and parcel of getting it back to a more original purified state, and or just changing the trajectory of where the lineage was maybe doomed or destined to go towards, in like a not so high vibrational way. But for the breaking off, not chills, but the nose thing on that, but for breaking off some of the, like how you would say, generational curses, or um, I think it should be more aptly stated generational ailments or weaknesses, right? Because how are you going to be, divine and also cursable? You know what I mean? But I digress. So, often chosen ones are born into bloodlines that do need that kind of assistance. You take on that heavy hitting energy, like the spiritual badass you already are, right? Whether you have awareness of it on the other side of coming here and with that veil energy is another question at times, right? But really, you're in for a treat. It's giving a soft era, like, but not in the commonsensical way. So meaning like it's like it's like, okay, I'm Jay. First of all, that's already like a whole ball of wax because you're just not necessarily just a black or white person. You're coded to kind of challenge norms, challenge certain aspects of society, perhaps, or the hierarchy or the system of society, etc. And your child, and of course, you do have children, same deal there, but there's something being highlighted about this particular child, probably just because of incubation stage and a lot goes on in the spirit realm before it trickles down here. So there's of course a lot of goings on regarding the child, its existence in this realm, and its protection to maintain its existence in this realm, which also coincides with your protection and your spiritual guidance system, etc., etc. Also, be mindful. Being guided to tell you, we were talking tonight about Bob's Burgers, yes, but we were also talking about how, long story short, you can take things in your world and really kind of see them with a spiritual lens to kind of gain better footing about some of the spiritual goings on in this very spiritual realm, Earth. Okay. So you might want to, when you have time, uh, you might want to check out what we've already kind of done tonight before you got on. And that's not me trying to say like, oh, you should have been here. I'm just saying I'm being asked to um, ask you to check for that when we talked about that. So I have no idea timestamp though. I'm not sure like what spirit wants me to say about that part. But and there was one other thing I think that I wanted to say. There's just something coming through about how you and this particular child have something to do together. Which I mean, like, duh, right? Like, how are you just gonna? Well, I mean, it happens. Never mind. But the normal course isn't to be like, yeah, whether you intended to be, whether somebody intends to be a mom or not. It's not normal course that a mom goes, well, I definitely intend to not do anything with my kids. So I mean, to be clear, it's something spiritually significant. Um, is what I'm trying to highlight there when I say you do something. You love Bob's Burgers, okay? All right. Yeah, I'm definitely sending you a love light, babe. Um, I'm glad you're putting the weight on, though. Yeah, you do need that. Okay, no worries. All right. Um, you're very this pregnancy is very. I mean, of course, every pregnancy is very spiritual, but it's really. I mean, to be clear, Jay, I'm saying this also because I'm not obviously always on the live, but there have been a few times where I've been alerted to really just kind of hold space for you, send light, and to that baby. So, you know, and I mean, it's not that I don't, like pray for your other kids. I'm just saying, like, in recent energies, it's been a highlight. So please know you are supported, definitely by divine forces, and of course by your soul tribe, myself included, of course, in case you ever wondered. And I only share that sentiment so that you do have something pleasant to focus on, you know, in spite of, you know, maybe the next round of some not so easy energies. All right, every little bit helps is my motto. So I'm sure you share in that sentiment. So much love and light, Jay. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you're talking yesterday. So let me. Okay, I'm so sorry. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. Hold on, because I was not correlating that. So now I'm looking at the Five of Cups. Okay, well, I'm tapped in, but let me see. Strength, yeah. Hierophant, okay. Oh, I didn't even correlate that. Now hold on a second though, but then the Ace of Cups and the World card. Okay, so it maybe comes back. Let me see. Let me see. And you know what is so crazy? Of course I would have to deliver this message because, long story short, you guys. And to be clear, I've talked to my daughter about this. And she also is of the same sentiment. So I'm sharing, not for you guys to be like judgy or anything. And I'm sharing so that hopefully this will allow Jay to receive the message all the more, because I'm not lying to you. Like, that is a thing. You and the baby, right? And I'm not trying to be triggering, okay? But it's exactly as I said it. Okay, so I left you at the Ace of Cups, right? And the World card. On the other side of the Strength, the Hierophant. And I'll show you the cards, but just hear me out because I don't want to lose the channel. And the starting point. Oh, shit. I'm literally looking at the Eight of Cups, the Five of Wands, leading to that Five of Cups, right? Which is all like the bad part. Not gonna lie. That's the sacrifice. What did I say about the sacrifice through the channeling? See, now I have to try to remember. Leading to the Strength and the Hierophant, which for me, this is often Daddy God card, right? Obviously, the realm, the sentiment of the realm that the baby is in, right? But it leads to the Ace. Divine breakthrough, assistance, yes, new beginnings. I get it. This is often talking about love, right? But of course, you would have a lot of love from mother to child, anyways, right? But also, this is something born out of love. We've got the World card leading to the Star, which I can't show. All right. And the freaking Eight of Pentacles. So for me, I don't know how else to read that other than what I'd already got through the channeling. Okay, I'm glad you get it, because I was like, hold on, because yeah, chills. Because I was like, what do you? Because then I was like, kind of like, what do you mean, Spirit? Like, you didn't tell me. I was so focused on like, no, you do have work together, and I talked about the protection, about the ushering in the child's existence here. Chills on that. Let me see something here. I'm so sorry though. That's not like, oh my god, like, oh, hold on, let me focus, because if I start processing, I don't want to lose the channeling. Hold on, let me see. Sorry, not to be callous. I'm trying to. I want to do right by you, Jay. Okay, like, not being dismissive. Okay. Okay. So this Emperor and you, which in this scenario, obviously, you're at least coming out as Queen of Wands, right? To be clear, this could happen again. Libra energy could be of some significance. Did we just talk about Libra season for some? So Libra season was already coming out in the energy for the channeling for pile number 3. Oh my God, what if that's the time frame? Because pile number 3 had the time frame attached. What was it? Hold on one second. The air sign energy came out for pile number 3, right? But hear me out. So did the 1-year time frame. Unless this is somebody that repulses you, not to be rude, but you know, like stuff, stuff can happen. We won't. Some of us have been there where it's like, you know, things happen. But unless this is like somebody that literally like is making your skin crawl in current energies and like you just, this could happen again. Okay. Now I do see with this Emperor energy, and this would be so fitting because Emperor energy not only talks about a man, but often talks about a father or an authoritative figure over children. And you're saying Paul 3 resonated. Okay. So it just looks like there may be some time that needs to occur, obviously, right? And then it looks like you guys very well could actually make the decision and or anticipate in around the time that you're going to conceive again, chills on that it will happen. With these 2 twos here, both of the swords and the wands. Okay, so it looks like, I mean, it could be between now and even 22 months because we had originally the year, which could even be, I don't know why April 22nd is coming through. Whether that's conception or birth. Wait, hold on a second. Is that enough months for birth? I am not doing math right now. I've never been great at math anyways, and it's really late. I'm like, is the sun coming up right now? Because I know I didn't get to sleep yet, so forgive me, Jay. But I just did not want to half-ass that reading, like, 1,000%, because what the hell? Like, I was already, like, spirit. So you don't even let me know that part? But that wasn't the focus. Why would that be, though? I do want more clarity. Why would that be? Like, why did it have to? And I'm sorry that you even had to say that in the freaking live stream. Shoot, I'm sorry, Jay. Hold on. Okay, now let me see. Okay. Wow. And justice at the bottom. Okay. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And the aces. Oh my God. Okay. Let me calm down. Okay. And the king of... Okay. Oh, damn. Did he just get outed? Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. Oh. Hold on. Is that the case? Is that the case? I saw that double card again. Yep. Damn, out of them. Something about that emperor needed... oh my God, bro. Like, I am freaking... Okay, let me calm down. Sorry. Shit. Something about the dad. Something about the emperor. It could be connecting to lifestyle. Okay. Whether substances or... And something about if the child would have come in that scenario, in that energy. Oh my God. Do you realize, you guys, what energy you are creating to make the child goes into the child, long story short, right? So like it's often like, okay, like if you know, like think about it, like if you've ever had somebody in your life or you've been this person where it's like, you know, you had like a situation, right? And I'm not trying to say, Jay, that you had a situation, but on his end, okay, due date was 122. Okay, but hear me out. If he was not all the way right in heart condition, in physical condition, in spiritual condition, okay? It could have affected the mission that you and the child spiritually have together, okay? Because of the energy in that moment, okay? There's something about protection of the child, and I also had that through the channeling, but there's something about judgment was made about the, maybe even the astrology that the child is birthed under. Okay. Do mini, yes, Sarah. I'm with you. One moment, okay? I'm sorry. I just was like, okay. Um, so long story short, the justice stands. Uh, I'm getting the confirmation with the truthiest Ace of Swords here. All right, on the other side again of that justice. All right, so hopefully, it was a little all over the place. Sorry about that, but the justice stands. Okay, Jay. And you might want to, just for several reasons, just rewatch this one when you can. Sorry it wasn't as clean as I would have liked it, but man, that took me a minute, because I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? And I'm so sorry, babe. I'm so sorry, because that wasn't connected. I was dancing right around it. Um, so sorry. And I got like really excited about like you. It's like you and this child, that same spirit, okay? Not vessel necessary. I mean, can't be, right? But that same spirit, and you are some sort of like, it's giving like, I don't know if I should say like super bestie soulmate vibes, like teammates, like, for something spiritual, and chills and chills. I mean, they just keep coming. And you know what? Uh my mom, in my youth, she was married at the time, but they decided, it wasn't, the best opportunity, or the best, well, how do I say this? And I'm not trying to tell somebody else's business that's not really mine to tell, but long story short, they decided not to keep the child. And I'm trying to think, how old was I at the time? I think I was in high school. So I was all like, what do you mean? Like, like, it was like, what? Like, and my mom's age, even, like, it was like, what? Like, what? Definitely unexpected. And though she was married, for whatever reason, felt led to not keep the child, kind of thing. And and my mom did say something to the effect of, she had a dream, that allowed her to know that, like, maybe that was the best thing to do, right? I'm not here to judge her judgment call or even interpret that. But long story short, okay, I think this part's pretty neat. I had this intuitive nudge that, like, that child, when my mom was gonna go and, have that service done, I would meet that child again in a very special way. And I'm in high school. I wasn't I wasn't gonna be a mom for many years later, thankfully, right? And you know what? Uh, when I met her, I was like, I felt this presence around me before, in a spiritual way, of course, because I never really, like, obviously the other vessel was aborted, right? So there's that. But I think it's pretty neat that when she got old enough to, like, understand, in a spiritual way and things like that, uh, you know, and she too thought, you know what, I also believe that. And she even said in her own way, she was processing that. Like, she didn't know to process it like, oh, I think, I was this baby, kind of thing. But there were some like synchronicities that we both interpreted the same. A long story short, I'm trying to make a very long story short, and I think it's really neat. So I leave you with that, just to say, like, you know what, even in, that type of parameter, you're not all the way alone there. Like, if you can take any kind of solace in that, right? Not in the sense of it's the same thing and that I like lived through what you've been asked to live through, but please remember the channeling was like there's protection there, there's justice all over that, and you will be more than rewarded. And chills on this, babe, and the mission is not affected. Whatever I'm so excited about when I tap into what, I don't know any more specificity at this time. Obviously I'd give it to you, but whatever you are like assigned and set up to do still stands and is still very much like unaffected. Like it's not a hindrance to you as far as what your soul contract may like have been written out between you and that lovely soul of you, your child. Okay, so yeah, your little girl homie. I'm saying super, but yeah, chills. But you know what, Jay? I mean, to be clear, um, that child's energy is not away from you. To be clear, like I know uh, that just happened, and again, I'm so sorry. But energetically and spiritually, the child is very much around you. So, heads up, you may hear other readings and things, and they're talking about spirit babies. Spirit baby is often the term in the spiritual community. And so that would be most likely referencing that particular spirit baby. You have to say it that way because you may have more than one you maybe don't know about. Not it's not a prerequisite, to be clear, to have had that experience, that loss, in order to have a spirit baby, because often twin flames often have spirit babies that just, didn't get a chance to even try to be here yet, too, to be clear. So, but man, that's really good news that justice stands. Yes, that is good. All right, let's see here about Dumini Yasara. Let me scroll up here about interviews next week. Okay. Ooh, I see you are having trouble sleeping regarding the what ifs about the job. So let's see here. Okay, I just want to make sure my deck wasn't out of whack here. Like, what? Okay. All right, let's see. Oh my goodness, almost got a paper cut out of that one. That's a yes. All right. So it could be 4 days from now. So let's see. For me, I don't know where you're at, but for me, today is Saturday, I believe by now. Yeah. So maybe about Tuesday of next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, perhaps. This could also be indicating that maybe you've got more than one offer coming in. Like if you've placed a total of like 12 applications, you filled out. Maybe even 4 of them could come back within the next week or so and have offers for you. Stranger things have happened. Um, So, but that is a yes, babe. Thank you for your patience on that. All right, so that's what I have for Dumini Yasara. I think we are good, you guys. I want you to go. Oh, Fiona, I missed you. I'm sorry. Hold on. And you're very welcome, Dumini Yasara. Okay, let's see here. This is too many. Hold on, Fiona. Let me get myself together. All right, let's see. Thank you guys for being on here with me, and thank you, moderators, as always, doing a bang up job. And Freaky J, do you know if did you email both of your did you email the love and light to you email with both of your email addresses? Because I want to get you on here so that regardless of which count, babe, that you can moderate. I want to make it easier for you so that way regardless of what account you're logged into. And I know I need the email address to do that, I think, if I recall correctly. Okay. So that is a yes. And what you may find interesting, Fiona, is your cat, right? So you know cats are like literally magic, basically, and highly spiritual. Okay, so those that know this can make sense of what I've got to say. And I know this includes you too, Fiona, to be clear. I'm just saying it because we're not the only ones that have access to the message, okay? Um, so we've got a yes, right? So the cat's around. But interestingly enough, it's coming through with the Four of Pentacles leading to the World card and the Fool card with the moon energy. You may not be aware that the cat is actually like around, obviously, in spirit, especially around times when you are being asked to like um get outside of your comfort zone, to close and or end a cycle. And what else did I see here? And to assist you with your personal experience of all aspects and ideations connecting to your personal freedom. So that's pretty jazzy, right? Like, wow, what kind of cat? Like, what? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like your cat is way more badass than like Sabrina the Teenage Witch. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I can. Aw. Okay, thanks for emailing me. When you get a chance, Jay. I'm just trying to, while I have you on, I'm just trying to think of like things that I need from you for next steps, so I can just kind of continue on my end of things with keeping the pace. I really gotta get some of these logistics crossed off of my logistical to-do list here. Um, but yeah, that's pretty neat, Fiona. Like, what do you like? I wonder how that all works. But maybe you do get like, you know what? This is the same for like people that you've known and love as humans as well. But this definitely does include the pets, you guys. If you are like, living your life and all of a sudden you're like, oh, remember Fluffy? I really miss Fluffy, or just, you see like a synchronicity about Fluffy or whoever the animal is, right? Often they're right there, like literally in spirit, like connecting or intending to connect, right? Yeah, the personal freedom, Fiona. Like, you need to give yourself permission to just be free, to just be your own person, and unapologetically. You don't really have to apologize for the wonderful, magnanimous, effervescent being that you are. So, like, it's really okay for somebody like you, Fiona, to be okay with being you and being free, and freely yourself, because you are far more capable of being you. You already are you. And the fact that you're still here means you are far more capable at being you, over anyone. And so you being in charge is safe. And you being in charge does make sense. And you being in charge is allowed. And you are in charge. So, of course, you're free to be free. You're in charge. Okay? All right, I'm glad you understand, Jay. Thank you. All right, so let's let me just make sure I didn't skip over anyone. All right, you guys, if I seemed off tonight, I need you to know it wasn't anything personal. I had some extra things with the screen. Also, it's very late, um, and so there's that, right? Um, I wasn't expecting that screen to change like that, though. That was a little off-putting, if I do say so myself. So I gotta figure out. I wonder if I want to keep that or not. We'll see. All right. So thank you guys for hanging out with your girl. Thank you for energetically exchanging with the channel. All right. It's really not all about money here, you guys. Okay. but I am mindful that a lot of you have come to me regarding finances. And so at that point, you do want to try to find ways that maybe you've not implemented in the past, right? So that you can further yourselves in assisting with healing your relationship with money, all right? And even if it's not in the sense of my channel, all right, I need you to be mindful where you are placing your money in the sense of, is it good ground, right? Is it ground that you should plant seed in? And you would need to know that, okay? Because what I don't want you to do is fall prey to some of these other spiritualists and prophets, etc., right? And I'm not here judging anyone at this point. All I'm saying is please utilize your intuition. I personally, quite unfortunately, have seen some evidence where I'm like, okay, I can't. You saw the light flicker. I can't unsee it with my own spiritual eyes. Because then if I try to do that, I'm playing dummy games. I literally, quite unfortunately, had to unsubscribe from some people recently because I was like, oh my god, like you're teaching, you're saying that on purpose. You're instilling fear on purpose. And these people are the type of people to be there for the money hand over fist. And for anyone viewing my channel, knowing that I'm talking about you, not even personally, just energetically, get ready. Because what you think you've reaped, yeah, no, you've been sowing. Yeah, just saying. Okay, there's that. All right. But you guys, I really love you guys either way, and I'm not here for your money, to be clear. I am here to help you manifest, as well as I'm part and parcel of the program too. That's why I don't have a soapbox and a microphone, to be clear, okay? So I'm excited what we're going to cook up together. And I'm just grateful that we haven't given up, all right? It's not really on the menu anyways, just saying, all right? You guys go rest, be amazing, and don't forget to manifest, all right? Tomorrow is another day. You guys were talking about Bob. Wait. Do you think he lets the Belchers get away with things? No, because this is bothering me. Because wait, hold on a second. Bob's Burgers. Do you think who lets the Belchers get away with things? Wait, who lets the Belchers get away with stuff? Oh, you're talking about fish odor. Yeah, that's exactly the case, Mr. Fish odor. Night, Jay. But also, Mr. Fish odor is I think also he's not really exactly the man he presents himself to be, or wants to be presented to be. And the Belchers, the thing about them too, like Mr. Fish odor, they know how to manipulate others' boundaries at times for benefit. So it's kind of a little ball of wax the way I see it. Not that you were asking, but I like to talk to. So I'm like, let me join in. Okay, but you guys, good night, good morning. All right, go rest. Really. I love you guys, and I'll see you soon. I know I will one way or the other. All right, you guys, don't give up. Stay amazing, and I love you. Bye-bye.